Oh yeah. Can you see me? Whoa, can you see me? Whoa, can you see me? Whoa, can you see me? Well, you sure can hear me. Well, you sure can hear me. Okay. Un momento, I have to pop out the chat really quick. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got it. We got the whole crew here. Let me, there we go. Alright, then let me uncheck this little thingamajig here. Boom. Close out of this. Head over here. We should be good. Let me pull it up on my phone just so I can keep an eye on it. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody having a good night? What the hell? There we go. Fantastic. Hey, good energy in the chat today. We got a ton of people joining right off the bat. Good energy in the chat. Fantastic. Hey, good energy in the chat today. We got a ton of people joining right off the bat. Can you remind me of your SoundCloud name? What was my SoundCloud name? Empire, I think. N.Pyre. Doing good. Did pre-release yesterday. I heard LJL. Unfortunate polls. I'm happy that the set's fun though, because I'm gonna do my pre-release tomorrow. Going to the two-headed giant with my buddy Dom. Pretty excited. Yorsum. What up, Yorsum? How we doing? I wanted to listen to it some. It's fire. Thank you, my guy. How many of y'all in the chat have done the Lorwyn pre-release or are planning on doing it this weekend? Now that LJL brings it up. Dude, I wish I could draft this set. It looks so fun. It looks really fun, dude. I'm very excited. OG Lorwyn, I probably said it a billion times, but it's my favorite set. So I'm very excited. When I saw Lorwyn was making a return, I was like, oh. I definitely interested. Dude, Luminolisk does work. I won't spoil it in case people want to be surprised, but the card is insanely good. Oh no, I'm gonna spoil it. You don't have to, because I will. You don't have to spoil it, because I will. Watch out, I'm looking up a spoiler. Watch out! Luminolisk. What the hell is that? Oh. That seems like a good sealed card. I love Death Touchers and sealed. Dude, I just really wish we could have a full block in Lorwyn instead of just one set. Agreed, dude. Shadowmoor was easily like probably my second favorite set. I still can't decide if Shadowmoor or Lorwyn is my favorite set. That's because I totally get what you mean. That block was my favorite set. Is kind of what I mean by that. I got 2 boxes in the mail. Literally got a magic day with my girl set up. Hey, that's cool. That's the dream. IH7729 is living a dream. Free blocks. Free blocks. Free blocks. Have you been watching the Squen and Crag shorts? I so badly want them to stay for future sets. Same, the little like podcast they have. I think it's funny. I really liked the musical thing they did. That was great. It's nice to be going back to old sets, but it sucks because it feels like we leave as soon as we get there. Yeah. I can agree with that. Let me think. What's an old set I'd love to see make a return from the days of old? I guess like Future Sight, I would love to see a modern take of Future Sight, because when Future Sight was first made, it was made with like the intent of being like, let's predict some crazy stuff we'll have in the future of Magic, and that's why it had like some new mechanics. It had a new border. It had colored cards that were considered also colorless. It's really cool. So I'd love to see them do that again modern day and see what they think 20 Cyberpunk 20 no no to see what they think 2100 or 2100 would look like for Magic or something like that. We need to go back to Rabaya. They were doing that, I think, actually. Oh, really? Oh, that'd be sick. That's where they came out with like the Goblin Riggers and the Rigger tokens and stuff that actually didn't have anything to do. They were just like, that's just funny because it's like, hey, there might be that token in the future. And they can always pay that off whenever they want. It was just a fun set. I remember pulling from that set a ton when I was young. What was another fun set? I really remember that one because I did a draft of Future Sight and I was like, this is very fun. Yeah, Lorwyn and Future Sight are the two that I would love to see a reprint of. It's just not called Future Sight. Oh yeah, that's cool. What it's called Premonition. Future Sight was such an insanely cool set. It was very, very cool. I liked it a lot. Oh! Alara. Shards of Alara. The all multicolor set. Would love if they did that again. And if they end up pulling the trigger on that rule, I don't know if they already have or not, the hybrid mana rule, I could see them like weaving that rule change in with a set release that had a bunch of multicolor cards that were like hybrid. But I really like Shards of Alara a lot. That draft format was one of the funnest drafts I've ever played in my life. I still remember that draft because I pulled a Knight into Alara where it gives your creatures 1/1 for each of their colors. And I was like, this seems pretty cracked. And then I was like, Bant Sureblade. Oh, this thing's 3 colors, but I can just play like 2 and a green for it. Or it's 2 colors. I can play 2 and a green for it. And then it gets +2/+2 from that and a 1/1 counter if I control a white permanent. That set was so fun. Let me try to look that up really quick. Bant Sureblade. Yep. Yeah, it was 3 colors. Yeah, this bad boy, I had that. I think it was called Knight of Alara or something like that. Yeah, and this. And this bad boy would get 3 1/1s from the Knight, and then also a 1/1 if you controlled another multicolor permanent, which you would with the Knight, so it would get +4/+4, so literally a 6/5 for 2. So good. Loved that set. What if Phyrexian Gate opened in Kamigawa? That'd be pretty sick. That'd be bomb. I think Reality Fracture might be similar to Future Sight. We will have to see what it's like. Oh yeah, Reality Fracture. That'd be sick, dude. I'd love that. Child was a bomb. Child of Alara? Yeah. My friend Nate used to run Child of Alara. It was like a board wipe tribal deck. It was rough. Return to Ikoria would be cool. Knight of Alara is awesome, especially in Hazazan. I'm really bad with names. I'll be like, oh yeah, that thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because they're red, green, and white Sand Warriors. Yikes. That's real good. I started MTG when the Lost Caverns of Ixalan came out, so all I know are hat sets. LOL, these old sets are all new to me. Oh man, old sets are so goated. Playable Biggies and Ikoria would be a party. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Enough chit-chat in the comments, alright? Let's get into this. We got 2 spicy decks to take a look at today. This week's Friday night deck review brings us Wheelmaster's Mr. Foxglove Hand Dump deck, along with Soft Served Memes Megeta the Lion deck. All right, so we're going to take a look at both of these tonight. We're going to start things off with Wheelmaster's Mr. Foxglove. His submission form here. Draw cards off Foxglove and dump your hand and either win through value or Approach of the Second Sun. It's a casual deck. Win condition, Approach of the Second Sun, or deal combat damage with big creatures we cheat into play. Favorite interactions, Cayenne, Corrupted Memory, flip-flopping between modes. We'll have to figure out what that means. What do you hope to get from this review? To show off my deck, to get some new recommendations, and to raise the power level. And they are a Patreon and YouTube member. Huge shout out, Wheelmaster. You're a goat who submitted a fox. You gotta love it. So down here it says, get Foxglove out and dump your hand every turn to refill from his effect. Burgeoning and exploration makes this easier to get lands out of your hand and make sure to protect him. Use all that draw for payoffs and value. Main win commons approach of the second sun. Love it. Love it. Mr. Foxglove would love some biggies from Ikoria. There ain't no doubt. There ain't no doubt. Sorry. Making sure everything looks okay. Okay. Set that right there. You guys can hear me still, right? We should return to Olgratha, the plane nobody cares about from the Homelands. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the really old sets like Homelands and like Legends and stuff. I don't know if Legends was a set, maybe, or like a plane, maybe it was. But the really old planes that just kind of got weak old design space cards in them. I would love to return to those. That'd be really cool. Okay, so Foxglove. Foxglove is a 2 a green and a white for a 3/5 lifelink. Whenever Mr. Foxglove attacks, draw cards equal to the number of cards in defending player's hand minus the number of cards in your hand. If you didn't draw cards this way, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Pretty good. Oh, Legends was Dominaria? Okay, so we did do that with Legends. We should do that with all the other old sets. That'd be sick. We need to visit the miniature plane. Is that real? What's that called? It can't be. It's not a plane anymore at that point. It's more of like a, crop duster. Oh, that little cat wants in every time I go live. Okay. So yeah, Mr. Foxglove, fill your hand up with big old boys. I'm a big boy, so biggest boy. Oh, you need to stop meowing. If you're gonna come in here, you're not gonna meow at me. You're not gonna meow at me the whole time you're in here. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. We don't need the attitude, alright? We don't need the attitude, Veers. Okay. So, Mr. Foxglove, we're going to be filling up our hands over and over again and then dumping our hands out from a ton of value. And even if we can't dump our hands out, we can just go ahead and trigger Mr. Foxglove to cheat in massive creatures. So, there's a game plan. Jumping into it. Starting off with draw, we got Abundance to filter what we're drawing. Howling Mine, everyone draws an extra card on their draw step. Kodama, whenever a permanent enters the battlefield, you get to cheat in another permanent that costs less than it, as long as it didn't enter from Kodama's ability. Make your own luck. I don't think I've seen this card. 3 a blue and a green. Sorcery, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may exile a non-land card from among them. It becomes plotted. Wait, that's pretty good. Put the rest into your hand? Wait, that's actually kind of good. Make your own luck's kind of spicy. I like that, actually. Rashmi, whenever you cast your first spell each turn, reveal the top card of your library. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if it's lesser. If it has mana cost lesser than the mana cost of the spell you cast. If you don't cast it, put it into your hand. I love Rashmi. Such a good card. Chasm Skulker, whenever you draw cards, it gets a 1/1 counter. When it dies, you put a 1/1 blue squid into play for each counter on it. Clinquant Sky Mage? Jeez. 3 and a blue, 1/1 flying. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Yeah, sure. I like scalers. And if you can cheat it in with Foxglove, you just get a free scaler. Cayenne, Corrupted Memory. Cayenne, ooh, I can barely handle nutmeg. Ha, dem sassy kitty. LJL, were you the one that said you started X-Files? If so, how are you liking it? 2 a green and a blue, 2/2. As long as Cayenne's power is even, you may cast non-creature spells as though they had flash. As long as Cayenne's Cayenne, I'm gonna keep calling her Cayenne. Cayenne's power is odd. You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on Cayenne. Great. I feel like this deck would love Gandalf Westward Voyager. That was not me, unfortunately. You should watch it though. Have you watched it, LGL? It's very good. Gandalf Westward Westward V. What's up, Westward V? 3 a green and a blue. 5/5. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, each opponent reveals the top card of their library. If any of those cards share a card type with it, copy that spell. You may put the copy into play. Draw a card. Whoa. Copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy, and each opponent draws a card. Otherwise, you draw a card. Do you cast the stuff you play with Foxglove? You put a creature card from your hand into play. But there is a lot of big stuff that we're probably going to end up hard casting. I don't know. I'd have to think of it. I'd have to think about it. Lila, holographic assistant, 2 and a blue. 2/2. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Lila's so good. Ominous Seas, draw a card, get a counter. Every time it hits 8, you get an 8/8 octopus. Oniophage, 3 and a blue, 1/2 flying. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on Oniophage. I saw a comment on the latest video that's like, oh my god, guys, Nick actually pronounced the blue dragon's name right. Which is so funny, because it's literally like the scariest name to pronounce. And I was like, I'm going to definitely get this wrong. And I pronounce the stupidest, easiest stuff all the time. And I'm like, oh, I got that right. Okay. Sorry. Someone said I was nervous you were going the Svella land destruction route. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to you. Okay. Psychosis Crawler seems fantastic in this deck. Pinging opponents when we draw cards. Shabazz, gaining life and making it bigger when we draw cards. Sure, Toothy getting bigger when we draw cards, drawing us cards when it dies. Gross. As far as lands are concerned, Alchemist Refuge is great to give us Flash. Balagad brings something back from the graveyard, but Jeju's good removal. Anything else worth talking about? Rogue's Passage gives unblockable. That's just a card I love putting in all my decks. Okay. Necessary. Burgeoning. As you said, this helps get a bunch of our lands out of hand. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may play a land. So again, with Foxglove, that'll help get our hand size down so that when we swing with Foxglove, we can fill our hand back up. So very good. Exploration, you can play an additional land, same idea. And Mana Bond, at the beginning of your end step, you may reveal your hand and put all land cards from it onto the battlefield. If you do, discard your hand. This is fantastic in there. You just go ahead and play this before you swing the Foxglove. Or the turn before you plan to swing the Foxglove, refill your hand back up. But boy, you better have some protection, and that was perfect. I honestly didn't plan that until I just looked at the screen. I was literally going to say you're going to need some protection for this deck, and here we go. Cosmic Intervention, 3 and a white, instant. If a permanent you control be put into the graveyard from the battlefield this turn, exile it instead, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This needs to go in Megeta when we talk about it. It's very good. Greater Auramancy, great card. 1 and a white enchantment. Other auras you control have Shroud. Heroic Intervention protects your whole board. Lightning Greaves. Mithril Coat gives Indestructible. Reconnaissance can protect bad swings from happening. Rune of Flight gives flying. Draw a card. As long as it's enchanted to equip her. As long as it's enchanted to equip her. I don't know what I'm talking about. As long as it's enchanted. I'm giving you the freaking burnt peanut look right now. Like, what am I doing? As long as enchanted permanent is an equipment, it has equipped creature as flying. Amazing. Silver Shroud Costume. 2 for an equipment that equips for 2. Flash. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains Shroud until end of turn. Equipped creature can't be blocked. Very good card. I haven't. Just kind of read similar to some other stuff they're running in Rashmi. Copy big stuff and everyone drawing. Oh yeah. Sterling Grove, green-white enchantment. Other enchantment you control of Shroud, sacrifice it to tutor an enchantment. Swiftfoot Boots, Tamio's Safekeeping, Tyvar Stand, Ultimate Magic. Holy! 2 and a white for an instant. Permanent you control gain indestructible until end of turn. If the spell was cast from exile, prevent all damage that will be dealt to you this turn. Very, very good. Whisper Silk Cloak. Equipped creature has unblockable and has Shroud. Love that card. And Wing Boots gives flying and ward 4. As far as ramp's concerned, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Bird, Fanatic Aronis, Lanalore, Soul, Sky Serpent Seeker, Rampart, Noble, 3 visits. You know how it is. As far as removal's concerned, Avatar's Wrath, absolute banger card. Absolute banger card. Absolutely disgusting card. I'm so excited to get to play with this. I put it in my Arna deck. Oh. No, I didn't. I did for a split second and then did the same thing I just did where I'm like, no, this doesn't work in my deck because it's a token deck. Man, I want to run Avatar's Wrath so bad. I need a deck I can run it in. Daddy just needs a deck he can run it in, you know? Okay. Beast Within, Collective Resistance, Depart the Realm, Farewell, Generous Gift, Green Slime, Heritage of Reclamation, Corrosion Grip, Mana Drain, Path to Exile, Promise of Loyalty, Witch Enchantment. No, Witch Enchanter, I don't know which one. Sword to Plowshare, Saw It Coming from a mile fucking way. Play Avatar's Wrath and then follow it up with Draineth Magistrate and watch everyone cry. Yeah, disgusting. Yikes. That's actually gross. Just, yeah, your stuff's perma gone. Sorry. I guess it's just the same as like a board wipe, but still. Perma gone, though. They can't even reanimate that shit. Silence effects. City of Solitude to an green enchantment. Each player may play spells and abilities only during their turn. Love that. Conqueror's Flail, 2 for an equipment that equips for 2. Equipped creature gets 1/1 for each color among permanents you control as long as this equipment is attached to a creature. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Dozen. Players can only cast spells during their own turn. Grand Abolisher. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activated abilities. Kutzel, same idea. Piracy, same idea. This turn, you may tap lands you don't control to help to... Which, in response to Piracy, most of the time people are going to tap all their lands, so you can't use them. Same idea. No one can cast stuff during your turn. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Testing. These are some cards he's testing, I guess? Genemorph Imago. Green-blue, 1/3 flying. Whenever a land you control enters, target creature becomes a 3/3. If you control 6 or more lands, it becomes a 6/6 until end of turn. Mystic Reflection. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enters the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. Love this card. I will never forget when I was playing a game with a guy at the shop one time. My cousin, if you're watching, Ty, or not Ty, I just saw Ty in the chat. What's up? What's going on, my guy? If you're watching in the chat, Keaton. We were playing against someone, and I think Keaton played Mystic Reflection into a huge token maker and tried to make like a copy of like Avenger or something crazy. And he's like, so my 5 tokens will enter as Avenger. And the guy at the table was like, no, just one of your tokens will enter as Avenger. And we were like, no, I think that's why it says 1 or more. Choose target non-legendary creature the next time 1 or more creature planeswalkers enter the battlefield. And then Keaton followed up with like, yeah, that's why it says they enter as copies. I'm pretty sure everything in this card is pointing towards it being plural. And he was just like, no, he just like wouldn't accept it. He's like, no, just you get one of those. And we're like, okay. And then like, I'm pretty sure like a turn or 2 later he won, which was like, oh, of course. But I don't think we rarely ever played with, I hate playing with people like that. They get really, really, really hostile when you like target them or like when you do something big. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to play with you anymore, my guy. Nexus of Becoming. How you doing, Tyler, by the way? How's your day, my guy? Do I sound okay? Do I look okay? Oh, I forgot the music. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, shit. Well, that ain't all music. Is this too loud compared to me? Am I not loud enough? Am I not fucking loud enough? I feel the game gets a lot more fun if you celebrate your opponent's amazing plays instead of fearing them. Dude, same. I literally am the guy at the table when someone does big. You can ask Tyler. I'm a guy at the table that's like, I'm sitting across from him like, hit me for 340 damage, do it. And then I do the like, fight or the Street Fighter like, ah, like when they take me out, dude. I love when people do big old shit like that. Now, if I'm in the middle of doing something sick myself and someone stops me to do their own sick thing, that's a whole nother nick. That's a like, yeah, all right, pal. That's an all right, buddy. I be hoeing. Joined a little late. What's the goal of the deck / WinCon? So we got a Mr. Foxglove deck here, and his goal is to dump his hand with stuff like Burgeoning to help, you know, get all those lands out of his hand and keep his hand size small. So then we can swing with Mr. Foxglove to fill our hand back up and play more stuff. And I think more of a backup plan is being able to cheat big creatures into play with Fox. Oh my gosh, Fox! I'm talking too quick. I get hiccups every time I talk this quick. And cheat in big creatures if the first part of it doesn't work. If swinging with giant creatures and keeping our hand full and being like a value engine doesn't work, he's doing an approach of the second sun win condition. So pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to give you my suggestions for this one. Oh, and it's also a Wheelmaster's deck. We have seen his decks before. Okay, so Nexus of Becoming. 6 for an artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, draw a card. Then you may exile a creature. Exile an artifact or creature card from your hand. If you do, create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 3/3 golem in addition to its other types. Does the deck use Foxglove mostly for draw or for cheating things in? Because it looks like it's mostly for the draw. Yeah, it totally is just mostly for the draw. I'm pretty sure the cheating stuff in is like backup plan, like, because you do have some big stuff in here like Nexus of Becoming, like pretty sure there was some other big stuff, but maybe not, like Psychosis, Shabraz, Nexus of Becoming, Kodama, Make Your Own Luck. Like, so I think you can, I guess you can't do the non-creature stuff. So maybe, yeah, I think it is just a keep your hand full deck. Okay, Bright Glass Gearhulk. 2 green, 2 white for a 4/4 first strike trample. When this creature enters, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less and put them into your hand. Shuffle. Such a good card. Is Knowledge is Power in the deck? I have not seen it, so I don't think so. No, it's not. Is that the 3 a white and a blue enchantment? Yeah. And creatures you control get 1/1, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn. You draw your cards when it deals damage, though, I think, right? Oh, no, when it attacks. Ooh. Great suggestion. Yeah, that's real good. That's a good one. Idyllic Tutor will help you search your library for an enchantment card. What enchantments are we trying to search for here? What's the, like... These, the necessary, because all 3 of them are enchantments, so they're probably just for those. If my context clues or anything. Again, enchantment tutor, and then win condition, approach of the second sun. No ominous seas. I think there is an ominous seas in here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's got ominous seas, babies. Sideboard, Ghostly Prison, Omniscience, Propaganda, Windborne Muse. For considering, what is Codecracker Hound? 2 and a blue, 2/1. When this creature enters, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 to your hand, the rest into your graveyard, or the other in your graveyard. Warp for 2 and a blue. So you can just warp it over and over and over again? Ooh. I like that little guy. Michiko, whenever a source an opponent controls deals combat damage to you, that player sacrifices a permanent. Stone Coil, X drop, X or 0/0, enters with X/1/1 counters on it. Reach, trample, protection from multicolor. Yeah, sure. Voracious Hydra, X and 2 green, is 0/1 trample. When it enters with X/1/1s. And also when it enters, choose one. Double the number of 1/1 counters on it, or it fights target creature you don't control. Yeah. And then Whir of Invention, you can search for another artifact. But I don't know what artifact you really are wanting to, like, tutor up so bad you run it. You know what I mean? Maybe, like, Psychosis, but that's, like, about it. Oh, my bad. Didn't see it. Oh, you good? Oh, you good, LJL? Okay. So I had a couple of suggestions pulled up, but now that I'm really understanding the deck more, I think some of the suggestions might not be as good as I'm thinking they are, because they're more based around cheating. Nah. Yeah, I don't think a lot of my suggestions are as good as they were. So let's get some suggestions in the chat. Some beads of sweat start farming. Let's get some suggestions going. Okay, so one of the suggestions I had was Go-Go, so you could copy the triggered ability, but if you copy the draw ability, it won't matter. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. Whenever Mr. Foxglove attacks, draw cards equal to the number of cards in defending player's hand minus. Yeah, so that will trigger twice. So the first time it triggers, you will be even, and then the next time it triggers, you'll get to put something into play, though, right? Yeah, right. On the second trigger, you'll get to cheat something from a creature from your hand into play. So you get the draw trigger once, and then with Go-Go, you can copy that ability and get the draw trigger again, which won't work because now you'll be even. So now you get to cheat a big creature from your hand into play. That's not bad. That's still not bad. Go-Go's still pretty sick. I only saw a couple of card draw engines. Looks like the deck heavily relies on the commander. I see a bunch of protection, but I think we're missing evasion since the commander must be attacking. Something like Trailblazer boots. Trailblazer would be good. He does have a good little package of evasion in here though. He's got winged boots, whisper silk cloak, silver shroud costume, runes of flight. So he's got like a nice little 5-card package of evasion, but I think Trailblazer boots are an overpowered card. So I agree. They're very, very good. Non-basic landwalk. Oh, yeah. Almost perfect is also pretty good, I think. Almost perfect. 4 green, white enchantment. Enchant creature has a base power and toughness 9, 10, and has indestructible. That's pretty good to throw on Foxglove. There's also Jin-Gitaxias and Ancient Silver Dragon as a fallback, so when you don't draw from the commander, you can still get something in play that'll draw you a ton of cards. If that's interesting. Whisper Silk Cloud, too. Or Whisper Silk Cloak. They already have that in the deck. Okay. So those are good suggestions, because I have similar ones as well. So another suggestion I had for the deck was the new Aurora Awakener coming out in Lorwyn Eclipse. This seems like an absolute banger in this deck. One, you have so much mana ramp with the burgeoning. You can probably hard cast this turn like 4, 5, 6, which is insane. And then if you're, like LJL was saying, if your commander's backup ability happens, or if you're running Go-Go and you copy the ability so you get to cheat a creature into play, cheating this into play is nuts. 6 and a green, 7/7 trample. When this creature enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X permanents, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Put any number of those permanent cards onto the battlefield and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So with your commander in play, you'll just reveal until you hit 3 permanents and then put those into play for free. This seems like an absolute unit to cheat into play. What's up, Nick? I'm at my pre-release. Sorry I can't stay. Oh, you're good, dude. I'm so hype. I'm going tomorrow. Lorwyn's so exciting, dude. Let me know what you pull. Did you pull anything already? Are you opening cards right now? Live feed. Ping your pulls. I want to see him. So this seems really, really good. And then, like LJL was saying, if you run something like Jin-Gitaxias, you could cheat Jin out with Aurora. So you could hit a Jin-Gitaxias off your Aurora Awakener. Both of which are great to cheat if your commander's first ability doesn't go off. Your deck's so based around cheating lands into play quickly and tutoring those cards up, it seems like Burgeoning, that you'll probably be able just to hard cast them anyway. Galta. Galta's pretty nuts in this deck, I think. 5 and 3 green, 12/12 trample. When it enters the battlefield, put any number of creatures from your hand onto the battlefield. So yeah, in this deck, again with all the mana ramp, there's definitely a world where this comes out like turn 5, and you dump your hand of big creatures into play, and now you're only left with like 1 or 2 cards in hand because you just cheated your whole hand of creatures into play, and then you swing with your Foxglove, fill back up. Feels good. Feels good to be you. There's 20-toed Toad for for another win condition. Oh, I forgot about 20-toed Toad. It's a very weird card. 3 and a blue, 3/3. Your maximum hand size is 20. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put a 1/1 counter on 20-toed Toad and draw a card. When 20-toed Toad attacks, you win the game if there are 20 or more counters on it, or you have 20 or more cards in hand. This needs to go on Arna for a win con. You know how fast you could hit 20 in Arna? I could put at least 2 counters on this thing in a turn, then swing with it and take it to 4, and then next turn take it to 8, 16, and then boom, swing again, 32, I win. Because Arna's an attack trigger too, so I can stack it to be like Arna first, then the 20-toed Toad. More like Winnie win-win. Okay. Galta, another one I think would be good. Thunderclap Drake is absolutely disgusting in this deck, and I need you to run it, please. I've never begged anyone to run a card in their list. Please run this in this list. It's absolutely disgusting. 1 in a blue, 2/1. Creature Drake, flying, instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. We don't care about that. 2 in a blue, sacrifice Thunderclap Drake. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it each time you cast your commander from the command zone this game. It's very, very good. Because, like, you played it like... Oh, wait, no. My whole fucking thing's shattering now. No! This doesn't do what I thought it did with the deck. That's disappointing. In my head, damn. In my head when I was looking at this card, I was thinking that your commander could cast any big spells off top, and I wasn't thinking that it was just creatures. So in my head, I was like, oh, you just play this, and then once you play your big creature for free, you just copy it. Oh! Holy shit. Back up, big brain plan. Back up, big brain plan. I'm too good. I'm too good, dude. Thunderclap Drake is still amazing in this deck. You want to know why? You know what? You want to know why it's still amazing in this deck? Because when you play... I'm too good. I'm too good. Because when you play your Approach of the Second Sun, and you have the Thunder Drake out, you sack the Drake before you play this Approach. Then you play the Approach, then you copy the Approach. That's 2 Approach of the Second Suns. You just won the game. You don't have to wait to draw and do it again. You can literally just win the game right there. And you can play the Thunderclap Drake for 2 mana, or you could cheat it off top with, top with your commander. It also just makes your Approach of the Second Sun cost 1 less. Yeah, there we go. That's a way better use of it anyway. I be hoeing. You're in the same spot. I be hoeing's in the same spot. Be really good. Eula's Influence to get lands out of your hand. The 3 green is so steep, though. That doesn't work. Second Sun only works if you cast it from your hand, and only if you've cast it another time. But wouldn't you cast the copy first? Wouldn't you cast the copy of Approach of the Second Sun first, and then cast the one that came out of your hand, and then the one that came out of your hand would see that you've cast Approach of the Second Sun once already? Why is that not how that would work? That's so weird. If Approach of the Second Sun was in your cast from your hand, you don't cast copies? Doesn't it say cast? That's just weird wording. Oh. Yep. Copy it for each time. It doesn't say you may cast the copies or like exile them and cast it for free or something. Yeah. Damn. That one doesn't work. Restoration Angel seemed kind of interesting in this deck, just because if you end up running Aurora or Galta, those are both really powerful ETBs, but also your deck just has some good ETBs that you can interact with. Bright Glass Gearhulk you can interact with. You can interact with... What were the other ones that I saw here? Kodama's ability seems really good to interact with it, just because whenever a permanent enters, now you can blink something and cheat something else in with Kodama. Toothy when it leaves the battlefield, so you can get a Toothy trigger without having to kill Toothy, which seems pretty interesting. I don't know. What are some other suggestions that we got in the chat? Because we're going with more of a I draw a bunch of cards equal to the difference of our cards deal. Oh. Why don't you run Wedding Ring in here? When Wedding Ring enters the battlefield, if it was cast, target opponent creates a copy of it. Whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring draws a card during their turn, you draw a card. Whenever an opponent who controls an artifact named Wedding Ring gains life during their turn. No, you don't want this. You don't want this, because that'll keep your hand full. You want to keep your hand, like, quote-unquote full, but full from Foxglove, and then dump it out quick. So that wouldn't work. I don't know where to really start with this deck, to be honest. I don't understand the Silence package or the Pillow Fort package. Back again, love it. Sometimes you just want to feel safe, I be hoeing. Sometimes you just want to feel safe behind the little Pillow Fort package. I think he just wants to make sure that his big stuff that he's playing gets to see play. Like, the whole Silence kit is just to stop counter magic. So he can get to play his big spells and stuff. The Pillow Fort's just like, I get it. I mean, like, I like running, like, some random Pillow Fort cards in decks that don't necessarily warrant them. Dude, Wedding Ring will be giving your opponent so many cards. I know, I was just gonna say. I was like, wait a second. Wedding Ring I've got backwards. That's not what I want. Journey of the Oracle, or Journey to the Oracle might be good if it's not in there already. I don't think I remember that. Journey to the Oracle. the hell is that? Is that the back of this one? Yes. 2 and 2 green sorcery. You may put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Then if you control 8 or more lands, you may discard a card. If you do, return Journey to the Oracle to its owner's hand. Ooh. Journey to the Oracle seems fantastic in this deck. You can just cheat this into play if all else fails, and you get the second part of Foxglove. And then if you don't, you can just keep your hand skim forever with Journey. That's real good. Okay, so the main stronger cards care that one's the empty lands out of your hand. So you have a bunch of mana to play spells, so your hand count is low. Yep. So we're trying to like search for those burgeoning type spells, keep our hand count low, so we can refill our hand with Foxglove. We can like Psychosis Crawler ping him. Approach of the Second Sun is one of his win conditions. Pretty interesting. I'm trying to think what would be. Is there a card that'll like... What Memory Jar? 5 artifacts. Sacrifice Memory Jar. Each player exiles all cards from his or her hand face down and draws 7 cards. At the beginning of the next end step, each player discards his or her hand and returns to their hand each card exiled this way. I don't know if... maybe you could like utilize this in a weird way where you like get everybody to 7 and then play like... You could play... Actually, this might not be bad. You could play with Memory Jar and then wait a turn. And then when you're untapped, crack Memory Jar. Everyone gets a fresh hand. You play like 2 or 3 things out of your hand with all your mana ramp. Or just like the lands with the burgeoning. Then smack with Foxglove. Refill your hand. Oh, but then you have to discard your hand though. Yeah, again. Not what we want. How about Mana Bond? 1 green enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, you may reveal your hand and put all land cards from it into the battlefield. If you do, discard your hand. I think Mana Bond was in there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It was just this art. I like this art. We were just talking about future sight borders. We also really like draw payoff cards, obviously. I really like the mill ones. A lot of people don't. If you're not in a mill deck, whatever. I like the Fairy's Tutelage and like Sphinx's Tutelage and stuff like that. For every card we draw, the opponent mills too. That seems especially good if we have like cards like Howling Mine that are just giving people extra draws, but I digress. I swear I looked that time. I'm just blind. No, you're okay. That's me. That's me with words, so you're fine. What other draw payoffs are good here? What about the... I always recommend... I feel like I recommend this every stream, but it seems like it's just really good in a lot of different decks. This card. This seems fantastic. This seems really good in your deck, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. 2 and 2 blue, 2/4. When you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 Drake. When you draw your 5th card each turn, Sky Dreamer, whatever, and each Drake you control gets +X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. This is very good. I don't think it's very hard at all to, like, draw your card for turn. Maybe even, like... Yeah, even just to swing with Foxglove and draw 4 cards doesn't seem that hard in this deck with the Burgeoning and, like, the Howling Mind effect and stuff. So you just get a ton of passive 2/2 blue Drakes with flying, which are going to be good at like whittling home players. Or just a big swing. I guess if you're going for the win condition of like Second Sun, and I guess this goes under the big creatures win condition though, I feel. I love this card. I think this card's fantastic. Nantuko Cultivator. Oh! Yeah. Nantuko Cultivator would be sick. 3 and a green, 2/2. When Nantuko Cultivator enters the battlefield, you may discard any number of land cards, put that many 1/1 counters on Nantuko Cultivator, and draw that many cards. I'm going to be honest, this is not the card I was thinking of. I was thinking of Cultivator Colossus. Four and 3 green, Star Trample. Power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. When it enters, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat the process. Yeah, this is doing like the opposite of what your deck wants to do, though. You're just replacing each of those lands with a thing. Which you don't want. Nantuko Cultivator would be good, though. I like that. Let's see here. What else do we have? Well, I mean, like, obviously, like... No, I was gonna say Spark Double. But Spark Double is kind of weird because you wouldn't get the draw twice. You would get the cheat something into play off the second Spark Double. Not necessarily, because you could swing at 2 different opponents. That's interesting. You swing at 2 different guys. What's up, Crib Knight? We're looking at Wheelmaster's Mr. Foxglove deck. We're trying to keep our hand size low with cards like Burgeoning to cheat a bunch of lands into play, Kodama to cheat a bunch of permanents into play, just to cheat our hands into play, and then refresh our hand size with Foxglove, win with a bunch of value on board, bunch of creatures on board, Psychosis Crawler, or Approach of the Second Sun. Is his game plan. If you got any suggestions, let us know. Summer's Bloom. This like put 3 lands from your hand into play. Yeah, you may play 3 additional lands this turn. That's something. Well, if you swing at 2 different guys, you'll just draw from the beginning difference and then cheat something with the other. Oh, true. If you swing with the other... Well, I mean, yeah, unless that other guy's got more than the first guy you swung at. Like, if you've got 4 cards and you swing at someone with 5, and then you swing at somebody with 7, you could draw for the 5 guy first and then have the draw trigger for the 7 guy. Technically. So bracket 4. Not really. This feels like bracket 3. I think we're just having some... I just think we're having some Foxglove fun over here. It might be a good bracket. I don't know. It doesn't really have any game changers in it or anything. What about going for double strike instead of copies? Double strike would be interesting in this deck. Because you could cheat big stuff into your play, which, like, a lot of your stuff would just help you skim your hand out again for the next swing. So you could just repeat that cycle of, like, draw a bunch of cards, cheat one big thing into play, filter out your hand, swing with Foxglove next turn, draw a bunch of cards, filter out your hand. Exploration, Burgeoning, Mana Bond is a lot of speed. That's what he's got right here. That's what he's that's what you're trying. He's trying to keep his hand low with him. It is a lot of speed. I get what you're saying. So bracket 4. Sorry, it took me a second to contextualize what you were saying. Yeah. I don't know if that alone makes it bracket 4, but maybe. I hate Burgeoning. It's my least favorite card ever printed. I'll say that till the day I croak, dude. I cannot stand that card. When people play it, I'm like, oh my god. You can draw on the first trigger, one cheat on the second trigger, yeah. Mox Diamond and Chrome Mox makes sense if you want to spend it, or Proxy. It's an attack trigger, not a damage trigger. Oh. Wait, but it's the defending player, right, LJL? Yeah, the defending players. So my point was, like, if I have 2 cards in my hand and you swing with Foxglove at opponent B, who has 5 cards in hand, and then you swing with your Spark Double at opponent C, who has 10 cards in their hand, your Foxglove you can have trigger first, their attack trigger first. The defending player has 5 cards, you have 2. You'll draw 3 for the difference, now you have 5. And then you can have your Spark trigger one go off for the other guy you swung at with 10. He has 10, you have 5. You'll draw up to 10. So I think you can technically still get 2 draws. But you could just get that anyway by, like, just swinging with the... I get what you're saying now. Sorry. I'm very slow. Because if you trigger it the other way, you're still just going to get more... You're going to get the same amount of draws you get either way. You're going to be drawing 10. And then, yeah. I get what you're saying. Magic's hard, dude. Especially when you're already slow. You would play additional combos in blue, they say. Just take another turn on them. Yuck. Don't do it. Don't listen to him, Wheelmaster. You don't need any taking extra turn cards. Burgeoning and taking extra turn cards in the same deck, I might never play with you in my life. That is, like, the worst. Oh, double strike would not give you 2 triggers? It would. It would just give you the draw trigger and then the cast a creature trigger. My quote-unquote argument for some reason was like, oh, you could get 2 triggers of the draw. But if you just swung at the person with the most cards, you would just get the same amount of draws in either scenario, so you might as well get the draw and cheat something into play. So I get what he was saying now. Burl Fist Oak if you want a massive creature. Burl Fist Oak. 2 for 2, 2 and 2 green, 2/3. When you draw a card, Burl Fist Oaks get +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah, that's gonna get big. I wish you had trample. Oh, yeah, I was just skipping. I did the classic Nick thing where I just skipped the first step. We wouldn't even be getting 2 triggers because it's an attack trigger. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying twofold now, LJL. I don't understand how you guys deal with me. Good grief. He's like 4 times in the chat. He's like, double strike doesn't work like that. That doesn't work with double strike. And I'm like, yeah, but you could like layer it. Like, no, it's not. Whoa, hold on. My bad, LJL. That's funny. Okay. I wish Brillfist had trample. That'd be sick. We deal with you because you're here. Yeah. No one else is live streaming deck reviews right now. Any more suggestions for Mr. Foxglove, for Mr. Foxglove? Any more suggestions from Senior Foxglove over here? Foxglove is also the name of a flower. And it's the same flower that's in his hair. That little purple flower. Little cone flower. That's funny. We deal with you because you're here. Maybe a discard outlet. Maybe a discard outlet. He has reconnaissance. Isn't that a discard outlet? Maybe it's not. No, it's not. What's the one that's kind of like reconnaissance that discards cards? No, that's a sack outlet. Never mind. Aquamobia could serve. What the hell does that mean? What is Aquamobia? Oh. 1 in a blue, 1/3. Discard a card, switch Aquamobas. Power and toughness on turn. Yeah, a little discard outlet to keep your hand low and then bash face. Get rid of all the stuff you don't want. Smack with Foxglove. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Detective of the Month. Is that the City's Blessing one? Yeah. 2 in a blue, 2/3 ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. As long as you have the City's Blessing, detectives you control can't be blocked. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 detective token. Yeah. That's another good little engine here. I hate that Duggan only does damage to a creature. I wish you could punch a player. That would make this guy so much cooler. You just ramp him up to a giant creature and then just like, douche. But no. As much as I dislike landfall decks, this would go hard as landfall or maybe even enchantments. It really would go hard as landfall because you're already leaning into the whole burgeoning, thinning out your hand thing. So a couple more landfall cards, not even just leaning into it and like making it a landfall deck, just like throwing in a couple more like really good landfall engines in here wouldn't be bad. I'm trying to think. You have a lot of legendaries too. Let me organize by type really quick. 24 creatures. How many of them are legendary? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 legendaries plus your commander, 9 legendaries. I don't think that's enough to warrant any cards that base around that, but Emerald's Messenger is also similar. Oh yeah, whenever you draw your second card, create a spawn token you can sack. That one's really good. Cloak and Dagger, I don't know what that is. 2 for an equipment. Equipped creature has +2/+0 and Shroud. Whenever a rogue creature comes into play, you may attach Cloak and Dagger to it. Is he a rogue? He is a rogue. Cloak and Dagger seems perfect. What's the 2-mana enchantment that is kind of like Exploration, but it triggers on second draw? Oh, I found it on the trail. On the trail. Oh, that's the create a clue token on second draw. Oh no. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Seems pretty good here. We could look for some rogue synergies. I don't know if we want to lean too much into that just because the commander. I do think Cloak and Dagger is pretty good though. What the hell, music? You had one job. Yeah, what? Thanks for shouting that out. I just kind of zoned out and forgot I wasn't even playing. There's not like a Sorry. Ignore me. Okay. Easy to do. Hidden retreat would be cool. Hidden retreat. I love retreats. Because the first treat never fills me up, baby. 2 and a white enchantment. Choose a card in your hand and put it on the top of your library. Prevent all damage from an instant or sorcery. But then you just like draw into it. So you would just be hitting the same cards you're discarding to draw into with Foxglove. Because you would like you put 3 cards back on top. Your 3 cards lighter, sure, but Foxglove's gonna draw you 3 cards, so you'll just draw into those 3 cards. So nothing really changed. Family's favor protects the commander. Sounds like an old quote. 2 and a green, geez, for an enchantment. Whenever you attack, put a shield counter on target attacking creature until end of turn. It gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. Remove a shield counter and draw a card. Yeah, it just protects your commander from draws and then lets you, or from attacks and lets you draw a card. Seems good. Glade Muse. 2 and a green, 2/4. Whenever a player casts a spell, if it wasn't their turn, that player draws a card. I don't know how often he's going to be playing stuff. There's music? Can you hear the music right now? Can't you hear it? Can you not hear the music? Bouncing through your bones? Hidden Retreat also needs an instant or sorcery to target. Bant Charm. Choose one. Destroy target artifact. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. Counter target instant spell. Sure. I think all the charms are just great. I can now hear the music. Oh, he has opened his brain and his ears to the music. And he can now hear the tunes. We need a set with every charm ever made. Return to charms. Where every charm gets a reprint in the set, and that's all it is. That'd be the stupidest, craziest limited format ever. It's a new format I'm coming up with. Charms. No, I mean Glade Muse for your opponents, so they can't try to dump their hands before you attack them. Glade Muse lets your opponents draw cards, though, right? Oh, that's what you're saying. So it's like, geez. So they're forced to keep their hands the same size. So you can always get that much with your commander. That's a really cool piece of tech, actually. I didn't understand because it was so advanced and so big brain. I simply couldn't formulate a thought around it. Also, Joel Reel is insane. Oh, yeah, she is insane. Whenever you draw your second card, get a 2/2 green cat, 4 and 2 green. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Nuts. Oh yeah, Key to the City is really good. Discard a card. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. When untapped, you can pay 2 if you want to draw a card. Sure. Yeah, discarding a card to make something unblockable is absolutely perfect in this deck. That's a perfect. That is a perfect card. Is there any equipments where the equip cost is to discard a card? I'm having a hard time right now. Jeez. I'm having a real difficult time typing. I don't know what my deal is. There we go. Is there any equip discard a card? Ooh, that's a black card. Ooh, Murder's Axed. How about Murder's Axe? +2/+2, equip, discard a card. Ooh. That's the only one that has equip for discard a card. Interesting. Murder's Axe could be interesting, genuinely. You just like equip back and forth between creatures and then end the equip on your Foxglove so it's 2 bigger. Make your hand smaller, swing with the 2 bigger Foxglove. Not bad. Hand of Vecna. 3 for a legendary artifact equipment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, equip creature or a creature you control named Vecna gets +2 or +X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. I don't think this would be the best, right? Because the idea is that your hand's smaller when you're swinging with the attack trigger so that you can get a bigger amount of cards in your hand, but this triggers at the beginning of combat, so this will give the buff before we get the card draw. You would still get a pretty decent buff, but like, I don't know, that's interesting. Nazahal Primal Tide will be good. Just a big creature, whenever an opponent casts a spell, we draw a card. Min Wily Illusionist. One and 2 blue, 1/3. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, make a 1/1 blue illusion that gets +1/+0 for each illusion you control. Whenever illusion you control dies, you may put a permanent card that costs less than that illusion's power onto the board. She's such a good card. She's so good. Missed my deck. Rip. Oh no, we're still here. I mean, we're about to end it, but we're still here for right now. We got the recommendations coming in fresh right now. We've gotten some good ones so far. You're gonna like the VOD, dude. You're gonna have some good suggestions. And a whole lot of me misunderstanding people's suggestions. But that's just par for the course at this point. We've got Mr. Gabe Wallace in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The deck creator himself. I recommend removing this commander until the game ends. Yeah, I recommend never letting Foxglove see the light of day. Any more suggestions we got here, guys? Come on, he just joined, guys. Anybody got anything? I can go back for some of the suggestions. Someone suggested Min Wily Illusionist, so you can get some illusions when you draw your second card. Hand of Vecna, wasn't sure on. Key to the City, discard a card to make a creature unblockable, seemed fantastic in this deck. Joel Reel, draw your second card, make 2/2s, turn your whole board into XX is equal to the number of your hands or cards in your hand. Family's Favor could give your commander shield tokens when it attacks. On the Trail can let you put a land from your hand into play whenever you draw your second card. Cloak and Dagger will auto-equip to it because it's a rogue and give it +2/+0 Shroud. Burl Fist will get huge whenever you draw cards. Summer's Bloom lets you cheat 3 lands into play. Spark Double will be a second commander. And then Tuco Cultivator lets you discard a bunch of lands out of your hand and put a bunch of 1/1 counters on them and draw that many cards. Alondra puts 2/2s into play when you draw your second card and gives your whole board +X when you draw your 5th card equal to the number of cards in your hand. Pretty good. I think that was all the suggestions, actually. Yeah, cool. Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. Three and 2 blue. Whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on Temporal Pilgrim. +1 draw, or 0 draw a card. -2, create a 2/2 spirit with whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. And -12, target opponent chooses a permanent they control and returns to its owner's hand. Oh, and returns it to its owner's hand. Okay, I was like, what is going on? Then they shuffle each non-land permanent they control into their library. Yikes. Yeah, win the game with that one in this deck. Swords to Plowshare, Path to Exile, Berserk would be good. Berserk seems really good in here. 1 green, cast Berserk only during combat. Target creature gets trample and +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is its power. At the beginning of your next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn. Is that what you mean? Wait. Wait. You can just cast this on someone else's creature? Oh, if it attacked this turn. Okay. I was like, wait a second. Green removal spell. I mean, yeah, you can just play it on someone else's creature if it's attacking to remove it. But yeah, that's crazy. I've never thought about using this like removal. That's cool. Run Fasting so you don't have many cards in hand. The perfect tech. Fasting. 1 white. For an enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep, put a hunger counter on this enchantment, then destroy this enchantment if it has 5 or more hunger counters on it. If you would begin your draw step, you may skip that step instead if you do. Yeah, you're just missing out on draw to get draw. Love that. Which silences should I take out? I have a few too many and I'm not sure which are the best. Let me see. Okay, so in your deck, because like creatures are another win condition, I think the creature ones are like inherently better because you can also cheat them out with Foxglove or attack with them. So I think those stay. Piracy could probably go. Well, piracy might be really good because if someone like leaves some stuff untapped, you could use it, but that's never gonna happen. Like Dozen stops all spells. Grand Abolisher stops all spells and abilities. This stops all spells. This taps all lands, so pretty much stops everything. All spells, all spells. I mean, like, so Grand Abolisher is the best one, so that stays. Dozen stops every single thing from being played during your turn, and is a creature, so that stays. Kutzel stays. Conqueror's Flails buffs in a creature deck, so that stays. I would say City of Solitude or Piracy goes. One of those two, if I had to pick one. Piracy is 75 bucks, damn. Yeah, then cut Piracy, dude. Make a deal for Piracy to get mana is my thinking. Yeah, true. Taro. One in a white 0/3 when he enters the battlefield, or when she enters the battlefield, you draw a card and target opponent may draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, create a tapped treasure token. Sure, punish players for drawing cards. Well, you don't want to punish players for drawing cards, though, because you want opponents to have big hands so that you keep your hand big, too. City of Solitude protects your opponents comboing off on their turn. Oh. No, I understand that that's what that's doing, but that's what every single card in this thing's doing. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Each player may only cast spells during their turn. Like that's the same thing Kutzel does. That's the same thing Conquerors does. It's the same thing Grand Abolisher does. It's the same thing Dozon Spit does. Like City of Solitude does the same thing. All these do the same thing. Like, it's just if he had to cut one, I would probably say Piracy or City of Solitude. Just because all these are more creature deck focused, and if one of your win conditions is swinging with a big creature, I think having other creatures or a buff thing is better. Right, Nick, but a Solitude works for opponents too. Wait, what? Sorry, I guess I'm being slow. Doesn't Kutzel work for opponents too, though? Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn? Oh. Each player may only cast spells during their turn, and these ones only have that effect during your turn. That's such a weird difference in my brain, but now I get what you're saying. Okay, so City of Solitude is very good. Probably Piracy then, if I had to cut one. And it's like a bunch of money, so you might as well cut it. But I get what you're saying now. Super interesting. Wow. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells. Players can't cast spells. So, Dozen the Falling Leaf does do the same thing, though. Oh, but City of Solitude also says abilities. Ooh. Yeah. Piracy's probably got to go. If I had to pick one. How many Merfolk / Knights do you have for Valduran Wave Knight? At worst, it's like a 4-mana Oniriophage, but if you have any other Knights Merfolk, it gets really good. I don't know if he had that many. Let me check. Not a single one of either one, I guess. Piracy, Dozon, a City gotta go. Oh yeah, I had the thing off. I'm like, why can't I find that now? I think City's pretty good, though. I do think Piracy... Dozon and City are great for that reason that he brought up. That's a good point, that these are just always on. Like, people can't combo off during other players' turns as well with these in play, which is nice. These only affect your turn. So I would say, like, Kutzel or Piracy would be my two that I would take out. Kutzel's pretty good because you also get card draw. City is protecting your opponents on their turn, so you can't interact with them. Sure, I guess this is up to like Wheelmaster, like in hit, like what he comes up against more. If he comes up against a bunch of decks that are trying to combo off during other people's turns, these are probably worth keeping in. If he comes up against a lot of decks that he needs to be interacting with, then he could probably cut them. It helps opponents, but I don't have to play them until I go for the win. Exactly, it helps opponents, but like he's using them to stop them from preventing his thing. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Oh, gosh. I think his win is like swinging with like any of these draw payoffs, like having a big Shabraz or a big Lila or a big Cayenne or big Klinquant, Sky Mage, whatever. Bunch of 8/8s, like any of these draw payoffs, Psychosis Crawlers dealing damage. I think that's his way to win on top of the Approach of the Second Sun, if I'm understanding correctly. Or just like making Foxglove evasive and bashing over and over and getting value. Mainly, but creature damage is there too with them getting big from draw. Oh, I get to ask the creator now about the Pillow Fort cards. Yeah, there we go. Straight from the mouth of the source. What do you have to say, source mouth? Gabe, he was wondering what was the deal with the Pillow Fort cards like Ghostly Prison, Propaganda, Windborn Muse. They also are a part of your sideboard, so that's probably a good point to make there, Gabe. They're just sideboarded, so if I or someone else wanted to be more defensive, that's fair. I kind of like the idea of having little sideboard packages for like different people that want to play your deck. It's kind of interesting. Oh, I didn't even see they were in sideboard. I didn't either. I think Cultivator Colossus, Joel Rail, Alandra, and Min Willy Illusionist are the best suggestions. Yeah, I think those are all very, very solid. I actually really do like Cloak and Dagger for some reason. I just think that's a cool card in here. I can't remember who suggested it, but I do like this suggestion. 2-drop, it auto-equips to a rogue and your commander's a rogue, so it's literally just a 2-drop free +2/+0 and Shroud for your commander. It's a pretty good one. Omniscience is goated though. It should be in the main list. Omniscience I tested and was way too slow and in the way a lot. That's fair, I suppose. Knowledge exploration is potentially fun. What does that do? Knowledge exploration, I'm looking for knowledge. I'm tracing through paper, but I cannot find it. No scholar, I ain't got no dollars, dog collar. I'm walking the dogs through the park to get Skrilla. I don't know the dealer. I can't afford to even liver. Ooh. So I'm drinking it down so much I developed a fatty liver. Ooh. 5 and 2 blue for a tribal sorcery rogue. Prowl 3 and a blue. Search target opponent's library for an instant or sorcery card. You may play that card without paying its mana cost. Then that target player shuffles their library. It's a mean card. I don't know if it fits the deck necessarily, but I like this card a lot. Probably because it's from Morningtide. We were just talking about it. Best block ever. Oh, also any of the draw doublers are probably amazing in there. It kinda could. This is where it becomes weird. Because let's think. If you've got 2 cards in your hand, and the opponent has 5, and you swing and you have a draw doubler, you'll draw 6, so you'll be up to 8 cards. Is that more cards than you having swung with your Foxglove to draw 3 and go up to 5 instead of 8? Play 3 more cards and then... Yeah, no. You would have to put in a lot more work to have gotten less value out of playing the doubler. It would work, but it would have way more potential for shutting off Foxglove the next turn, but that's kind of okay because all you did was just get your Foxglove trigger that was coming in the future just delivered early. So I don't think that's... We got 20 people in here? I think that's the most we've ever had. Huge fucking fireworks go off. Shit falls in the background. Room catches on fire. That'd be crazy. What is going on with my thing right now? There we go. W viewers, W stream. Let's go. Tyler Deans. One guy said, fuck that. I'm not letting this little Honda hat wearing son of a... Is it Honda? It is Honda. Son of a gun reach 20. Also, Archmage Ascension. If you want to be mean, since you'll get to turn all your draw into tutors. And then get both of Foxglove abilities since you technically don't draw. Ooh, yeah, that's very good tech, actually. At the beginning of each end step, if you draw 2 or more cards, put a counter on it, as long as it has 6 or more counters. If you would draw a card, instead, search your library for a card. So with Foxglove, you would still get Foxglove triggers, but you wouldn't draw, so you could double the trigger and still get the trigger twice. And since you didn't draw, you'd get the trigger for the same amount both times, and you would tutor that amount of cards both times. That's very, very good. Crazy good tech. That's crazy good tech. Okay, I'm going to grab another water before we head into the next deck. You can feel free to post some more suggestions for this list while I run and grab that real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You guys be left front, all right? We'll get all the flanks. Chat them up. Chat them up. All right, Psyduck. What kind of views did you bring in? What kind of views did Psyduck bring in? 20. Psyduck kept us at the 20. Damn. Yeah, this thing never works though. Also, replacing your draw is messing with a lot of the cards in your deck anyway. True. 6 counters is insanely late game. Like I said a bit ago, I intend to never cheat anything in and just draw with him. Fair. Fair. Alright, we're gonna move on to the second deck. Check out the beginning of the VOD a little bit, Gabe Wallace, for some other suggestions and stuff. I hope you got something good out of this. We were going to move on. Check out Wednesday for the short that I'll upload with some follow-up suggestions. We're going to move on to a very interesting one, alright? I did something a little different for this one that I normally don't do. A little exciting for this one, alright? So, our boy, Soft Served Memes, who's got himself a date tonight, sent us a deck. And they have specified that they are on a tight budget, much like many of us. So I made it a point for the suggestions to be like 50 cents or under. There's a couple of like 75-cent suggestions that I had in here. I also did a couple of courtesy things here, all right? So it's getting hot as hell in here. I'm going to turn that fan towards me, actually. One momento. Holy shit! My fan's on fire! I'm gonna have to suck out the flames! It's roaring! Holy shit. Oh my god, it was a blaze over there. Good thing I know how to suck out a mean fire. Firefighter Nick, at your service. We fucking smoked that fire. We smoked that fire! Okay. Chat. Hey, Megeta, what's the Scooter say on his power level? Well, Scooter. Oh, Scouter. Okay, so this is a strictly casual deck. This is probably like a light 2. It was a little all over the place. I'll get into it, okay? It was so sad to see his water overflow. His water fall over. My water's standing, buddy. My water's standing. Oh my god, is that the Bosco Sticks in the chat? I love your work, dude. I love your work, man. Okay. So, the first thing I want to get out of the way is that this is a low budget deck, okay? It's also low power. This is a for fun, casual build, okay? And that is exactly what I love. This is perfect for me. Sorry. I've got a lozenge. Let me just crunch this away real quick. You guys crunchers? You guys much of crunchers with stuff like this? I love a good crunch. What's going on with my chat? I have an empty water bottle on the floor. Oh, I do. I was like, what's he talking about? I did not see that fall. Okay. Light 2. Nothing over 50 cents. How about Avacyn and Wall of Bong Sing Se? There we go. Perfect. Promise of Loyalty is 13 cents for a board wipe. Ooh. His commander is a board wipe, so I kind of went a little bit light on that. Okay, but let me explain here. Okay. So this is Soft Served Memes list. If I'm not mistaken, mistaken, let me check really quick before I say anything, just so I make sure I got it right here. Google Chrome. Okay. So the link you will click on will send you to this one. This one, if you were to go through it as is, like with nothing organized, it is a bit all over the place, if I'm being honest. It is a little hard to figure out what's going on. But when you duplicate the deck, which I did, added it to my own little deck stash, and I separated the deck into categories, there is a good shell here for a list. That is like a life gain, 1/1 counter, go wide deck that I think is a little hard to find when you don't have those tags. Like when you're looking at the deck as is, it's a little bit hard to figure out. So I duplicated it, sent it over to my own thing. So if you go to my page, you could find the same list, just actually with like tags on them now. And as you can see, there are actually some good like subcategories. So we've got 22 cards that have to do with 1/1 counters. We've got 12 cards that have to do with making tokens or going wide. We have 8 cards that have to do with life gain. So there are some little sub themes that appeared in this list that are definitely something we can work with. And I think I have built this into a pretty good list that you're going to like, soft serve memes. My list also comes in, I think, like 45 cents higher than your list. Your list is sitting at 56.89. I think mine was sitting at like 57.30 or something like that. Again, all my suggestions are 50 cents or under. There's a couple of 75 centers in there. But I think you're actually gonna really like it. So if we want to go over like the base of his deck right off the bat here, Crypt Knight has a good point. I do get into this with my suggestions here. Crypt Knight says, I'll fill the board with creatures, and then I will destroy all the creatures with my commander. We got some good stuff coming, okay? So, his commander, 3 and 2 white for a 3/3. You can pay 2 and 2 white, tap him, discard 2 cards. So board wipe in a creature deck and discard in a mono white deck. Oh, I can only scrape my zipper so much. And you destroy all other creatures except for Megeta the lion, okay? They also can't be regenerated, sure. So he's got some +1/+1 interactions in here. Anointer of Valor, 5 and a white, 3/5 flying. Whenever a creature attacks, you may pay 3. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Builder's Talent makes a 0/4, and at level 2, whenever one or more non-creature permanents enter the battlefield, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Dock Worker Drone is a 1/5, or 1/5. 1 and a white, 1/1 that enters with a 1/1, and when it dies, moves its counters onto something else. Drillwork Mole puts a 1/1 counter on itself and your commander when you tap it. Ecologist Terrarium fixes your hand with lands while also putting a 1/1 counter on a creature. He's expeditious. He's malicious. He's altruistic. Expedition Raptor, 3 and 2 white, 2/2 flying. When it enters, support 2. So you put 2 1/1 counters on up to 2 target creatures, or 1 counter on up to 2 target creatures. Flaming Fist Officer, 2 and a white, 2/2. Whenever another creature leaves the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on Flaming Fist. Gavany Silversmith, 3 and a white, 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on up to 2 target creatures. You see the pattern. We're just putting counters on stuff. Glyph puts counters on itself. Elegant Rotunda puts counters on 2 things. Put a 1/1 counter on something. Put a 1/1 counter on something. Put a 1/1 counter on something. Put a 1/1 counter on something, and each creature with a 1/1 counter on it. Put a 1/1 counter on something. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. On one thing. On a thing. On each creature you control. On it. On a creature you control. Or 2 targets. So, yeah. So we got a bunch of there is a bunch of 1/1 counters interaction here. And then we got a couple board buffs that I found in here. Creatures you control get +2/+1, and creatures you control gain protection from non-humans. So it seemed like he was also trying to go wide, which, come to find out, with the 12 go wide cards, there is a go wide kit in here. Johnny Fells of the God's Fire is a 3 and 2 white removal spell that also makes a 2/1 cat. Blessed Sanctuary gives you a 2/2 creature whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control. It also prevents all non-combat damage to you and your creatures. Captain's Call makes 3 1/1s. Clarion makes a 1/1 when it enters. Doomed makes a 1/1 when it leaves. First Response makes a 1/1 if you took damage at the end of each turn. Hopeful Vigil makes a 2/2. Inside Source makes a 2/2. Intangible Virtue gives all your tokens 1/1 in Vigilance, pointing towards the fact that he is intending for there to be like a go-wide token theme in this deck. Invasion of Belanon. 2 and a white, make a 2/2, and then when it flips, again, an Anthem. Give all your stuff +1/+1. Knight a New Coalition, enters with a 2/2, and Raise the Alarm gives you 2/1/1s. I'm not ignoring chat, by the way. I'm just trying to get through the deck before we dive into like the suggestions, because I feel like there's going to be quite a bit of them. Not to say like buy all of these, but there's going to be plenty of stuff to choose from and plenty of upgrades to make, and I'm excited for you, my guy. I think it's going to be cool. So as far as life gain's concerned, Basilisk Collar, a 1-drop equipment that equips for 2. Equip creature has lifelink and death touch. And Nick has Belch. So 1 second. Oh, how embarrassing. I love that. There was a one time my grandma watched one of my live stream or one of my videos, and she's like, "You're so good at talking, but I just don't like the burping." I was like, yeah, that's fair. And then someone left a comment and they're like, "Love the content, not a huge fan of the belching." I was like, that's, I don't think, I'm not, I guess the intent of the belching isn't for you to like, oh man, 8 out of 10 belch, Nick. Just, oh. I thought last week's top 10 obscure cards belch couldn't be topped, but then this week's 3 fun deck ideas belch was just like top tier. Love grandma. Doesn't look like that many life gain triggers. God damn, bro. I think I felt that belch all the way over here on the other side of the world, dude. You should have, because all the pressure that I felt is gone. So it had to have went somewhere. we cannot delete and get rid of energy, dude. It only goes somewhere. Just stop drinking carbonated water and you won't belch so much. You say that. I haven't touched up carbonated water in a while. I've been chugging Normski waters. I think why I belch so much is from putting out so many computer fires. It's from sucking out so many computer fires and chugging waters. Okay, life gain. Basilisk Collar, Holy Cow. When it enters, gain 2, scry 1. Impassioned Oracle, whenever another creature enters on your side, you gain 1. Life Creed Duo, same deal. Radiant Strike, destroy target artifact or tapped creature, you gain 3. Seraph of Dawn, 2 and 2 white, 2/4 flying lifelink. Staff of the Sun, whenever you play a plains or a white spell, you gain 1. And take up a shield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, and it gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. We've also got some ramp, Hedron Archive, Core, Cartographer, Stone Speaker Crystal, and Worn Power Stone. And also those are the only 2 pieces of card draw that are in the list, is Stone Speaker and Hedron, so that was another change that we will talk about. Removal, we've got Angel of Sanctions, Bark Form Harvester, Chains of Custody, Nautiloid Ship, Outflank, Pacifism, Radiant Strike, Realm Breaker's Grasp, Sky Whale's Shot. It's like the whale holding the harpoon, shooting a ship. That'd be sick. Sun Gold Barrage. And then for board wipes, we've got Austere Command, Dusk, Sculpted Sunburst, and lands, we've got 29 lands. Also, I think we need more of that. Okay, so this deck, again, like I said, when you first look at it, it might just look like a deck that you're not sure where it's going to be going. But when I looked at it and separated it into piles, I could very clearly see what this deck is wanting to do. And I think there are some pretty great changes you could make for like very inexpensive. So I hope this is going to be of some help. So what I did for the first time ever on the show, I completely rebuilt the deck, and I'm not saying from the ground up. This is your deck that I have just made some changes to. Okay, so over on my page as well, you can find the Megeta Soft Served Memes update deck, and there are just some things that I want to talk about that I added that I think make this deck a little bit more streamlined and doing what it wants to do. I'm going to talk about some cuts I made first, because there's quite a bit of cards that I removed. It's 2026. You can get a Solemn Simulacrum for under $1. Hell yeah. Oh no, Nick is deck-splaining him? Deck-splaining him? What you talking about? I spent a good 2 hours of my time helping the boy out, my guy. Okay. So there should be a history, right? Yeah. Ah! I'm just kidding. Okay, view full history. Ah! So we got rid of a bunch of stuff here. I got rid of Bark Form Harvester. 3-drop, 2/3 changeling, reach, put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. It's good graveyard removal, but didn't know Nick was a dirty little deck explainer. Shake my head. Yeah, deck explainer, dude. You should see the comments that people leave on a YouTuber who makes Magic videos YouTube. Have you ever thought about running Gutter Snipe in your Spellslingers thing? Nah, I think he's keeping the squirrel. Barkthorn Harvester was the glue that held this deck together. 10th District Hero, a 1 and a white 2/3. You can pay 2 to turn him into a 4/4 if you collect evidence 2, and then 2 and a 3 to collect evidence 4 and turn him into a 5/5. It was just kind of slow, didn't really fit the theme of the deck, so we dropped it. Phyrexian Archivist is a 6-drop, 4/5 reach. That just didn't seem worth it to me. Hedge Witch's Mask didn't fit the deck's theme in my eyes. Like, it seemed like a random equipment. Although, I do think this equipment's actually very good. I hadn't seen this equipment. Giving a creature the inability to be blocked except by anything with power 4 or greater, that's pretty good, actually. Endoskeleton, give us something +0/+3 as long as it's tapped. I just don't think that was really doing anything. Eidolon of Rhetoric, while a good card, I think, in your deck, especially with like some of the new additions, you're going to want to be casting like multiple cards a turn, so I don't think it's going to be great for you. I added 10th District Hero to a Cauldron deck, hoping to turn a random dude into Maleva. What? You're gonna have to explain yourself, Grip Knight. 10th District Hero, what's that? Oh, it's a card I just read 2 seconds ago. Oh, that's hilarious. Just give all your creatures that ability and just turn everybody into that. That's really funny. From what did you just say to me? Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. That sounds about right. Okay, let me see here. I got rid of Drogskull Infiltree just because, it didn't really feel like it was doing anything in this deck. It was just a 2/2 that transformed into a little spirit guy. Tapping your opponent's creatures when white creatures enter is okay. It just didn't seem good enough in this specific list. Cloak of the Bat, again, seemed kind of like a random equipment. Anointer of Valor, while it has a really good ability, I think, 6 mana is way too steep. Again, Weft Blade, 6 mana is way too steep, 5 mana is way too steep, 5 mana is way too steep, 5 mana is way too steep. I just got rid of like a lot of the high cost stuff. Miraculous Recovery, 5 mana, Expeditious Rapper, 5 mana, Expeditious Rapper. He's playing shows over in Taiwan. Trusty Pack Beast, again, you didn't have very many artifacts to like interact with that. And then we get to the added stuff, so we can get to some of the stuff I added and some of my suggestions here. So let's get to the fun part here. So right here, all the new stuff here is some of the stuff I suggest you run. Basilisk Collar is cheating. That card is almost $4. That was already in his list, though. I think there's some cards that are in his list that he just already had that was a part of his collection, which is completely fair. Like Nautiloid Ship's $18, but I fucking love that card. You can use Scryfall to compare 2 deck lists. How so? Okay. In the future, it'll definitely make things easier, but for the sake of this, I put new in front of everything, so all the stuff that I added is right here. Okay, so some new +1/+1 counter suggestions. I think Ajani's Pridemate's going to be good for this new version of the deck because we also added a bunch more life gain interaction. 2-drop, 2/2, whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Ajani's Pridemate. Serene Steward, 1 and a white, 2/2, whenever you gain life, you can pay a white and put a 1/1 counter on anything. Seems really, really good. Cradle of Vitality, 3 and a white enchantment. Whenever you gain life, you can pay 1 and a white and put a 1/1 counter on anything for each 1 life you gain. So if you end up gaining a few life, you can put 3 counters on something. Just going to be good for buffing your creatures, going wide. You're also gaining a bunch of life. It's going to interact good. And then here's what I wanted to bring up with Crypt Knight, what you were saying earlier. Crypt Knight brought up a really good point. Your commander is a board wipe. So with all these like life gain sub-themes and like token and go wide sub-themes, your commander is going to end up wiping a lot of that away. So this little 5-card kit, I think, is going to be a really good addition to your deck. And all of these give your board indestructible. So you'll play one of these, and then you'll activate your commander, wipe everyone's board, and then all your tokens and stuff are just going to stay. So I think this is just amazing in your list. Divine Resilience, 1 white to give something indestructible, but if you kick it for 2 and a white, it gives everything indestructible on your side. Make a Stand, 2 and a white, indestructible. Rootborn Defense, 2 and a white, indestructible, and Populate, so you'll get another token. Your Temple's under attack, indestructible or card advantage. And then finally, Moogle's Valor, indestructible, while also making a ton of 1/2 Moogles equal to the number of creatures we control. All of these gonna interact great with a go wide list where our commander is wiping the board, because now you're turning that thing that turns a go wide list kind of, your commander wiping the board is kind of a, what is the word I'm looking for? It feels like a Nambo in a token deck, but when you run these cards, it turns your weakness into a strength. So now you'll just open up the other people's boards, so you can just bash face with your go wide. So I think these are going to be a great addition. Might make it easier to go through the cop. Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. Moogle's Valor plus activation is 9 mana. Seems like a lot. I guess, like, if you're only using Moogle's Valor for the commander play, then I would agree, but you're also just a go wide token deck, and I just think Moogle's Valor is great in that kind of deck anyway. And if the game goes long enough, you can just use it that way. So I still think it's very good. You had, like, no card draw, so I thought you should run at least a little bit. Command Sphere is going to be mana ramp, plus you can sack it to draw a card. Same goes for Mind Stone. Priest of Ancient Lore enters and gains you a life and draws you a card. And 1 life might not seem like a lot, but with a bunch of the life gain interaction that we run and some of the suggestions that I have in here, 1 life is actually going to trigger a bunch of stuff on your board. Cut a deal, everyone draws a card, and then you'll draw 3, so it's going to be great. Dawn of Hope. Whenever you gain life, you can pay 2 to draw a card. This is going to be perfect in here. And then 3 and a white, make a 1/1 soldier with lifelink. And then finally, your Temple's under attack. We already went over this. Draw a card, make your stuff indestructible. It's going to be great. Draw 2 cards, actually. At the top, you can click the 3 dots button and click compare, then paste a deck list link or choose one from your collection. I'm not going to try that now, but I'll try it afterwards. Man, I chug water like they're going out of style, dude. With the way things are going, they might be going out of style, dude. Okay, so I've got some new go wide suggestions. We already talked about Moogle's Valor, giving you some 1/2 Moogles. We talked about Dawn of Hope, giving you 1/1 soldiers. Let's talk about Attended Healer. Whenever you gain life for the first time, you get a 1/1 cat. We'll take it. Cat Collector. Whenever you gain life for the first time, make a 1/1 cat. And when it enters, you make a food token. That's also more life gain, so we'll take it. Griffinary. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life, make a 2/2 Griffin. Some great payoffs. Go wide, life gain. Love it. Gohir, greatest of the Eagles. 4 and a white, 5/5 flying. When it attacks, target attacking creature gains flying. Sure. At the beginning of the end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white bird with whenever this creature attacks, target creature gains flying. Make birds for gaining life? Sure. And then we've got 12 new life gain suggestions. So, Adventurers In, land that enters untapped gains you 2. Like I said, gaining any amount of life is going to trigger a ton of cards on your field, so lands that do it, it's going to be good. Anointed Priest, whenever a token enters on our side, we gain a life. Perfect in this list. Blighted Step, again, enters untapped, taps for a colorless, 3 and a white, sacrifice it, gain 2 for each creature we control. Again, perfect for our list. We talked about Cat Collector. We talked about Dawn of Hope. We talked about Priest of Ancient Lore. Daxus, whenever a creature enters on our side, we gain 1. Same goes for Distinguished Conjurer. Healer of the Pride gains us 2 whenever a creature enters on our side. Radiant Fountain taps for a colorless and gains us 2 on ETB. Dazzling Angel gains us a life whenever a creature ETBs. And Lunarch Veteran gains us a life whenever a creature ETBs. And then I also, you didn't run like any ramp, so I threw in a little ramp package as well right here. We talked about Command Sphere. We talked about Mind Stone. We talked about, no, we didn't talk about Marble Diamond. Marble Diamond. Scholar of the New Horizon seems perfect in this list, actually. 1 and a white for a 1/1. It enters with a 1/1 counter. Tap it to remove a counter from this permanent, or a permanent you control. I didn't even read that. Yikes, this is good in this list. Search your library for a plains. If an opponent controls more lands, then you put it into the battlefield tapped. If you don't put that card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. Yeah, in this list, this will be giving you, thinning out your deck like crazy. Keeper of the Accord. If you're behind on creatures, get creatures. If you're behind on lands, get lands. Just a good catch-up card. Loyal Warhound, again, 2-drop, catches you up on lands if you're behind. I think all of these, any like ones you want to throw in here, are very good and make the deck have a more focused strategy in my eyes. Because if we want to head over here to this one, we'll do a little play test here. So we'll deal a hand 10 times and see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1 land, because you were running 29 lands. That was another thing. You're running 29 lands, and I upped that to 36. So we hit a 1 lander, so we'll deal another one. 2 lander, that one's more keepable though. We'll play test that one. So we go first, draw a card, play a land, pass turn, or play our Doom Traveler, I guess. Play another land, and then we can't do anything past there, so we will pass. Didn't draw a land, so we'll pass. Play our mob. Now we'll play our land. Can we play this thing? No, we can't. So we'll pass it around with a piece of removal. It's just a little like clunky, and it's not really. It's interesting. You've got like a couple of spots that are clear that are like you're definitely trying to go wide, and you're definitely trying to put counters on stuff, and you're definitely trying to gain life. And then there's these little like mud puddles in between of like mini synergies and like mini things that you're trying to do. And I think we kind of did a good job of cleaning off some of the fat. Inspiring Overseer is 20 cents. Okay, yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, chat, someone said I think chat was glitched. Yeah, chat didn't go through for a minute there. We're back. Okay. Mughal's Valor, we already did that. Inspiring Overseer. Two and a white, 2/1 flying. When this creature enters, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Perfect. And it's flying, so when you put counters on it, it's just gonna get bigger with the counter sub-theme that you've got in the deck. Perfect. Card draw, life gain, evasion for the counters. That's actually perfect. Inspiring Overseer is great. I think that people want the squirrel back there, so there's a lot of uproar about it from the cut. Thraben Inspector. 1 for a 1/2 when this creature enters, investigate. Yeah, that's some good card draw. That's not a bad one. Hey, there's Lunark Veteran. Kabiri Crossroads also gains 2 on ETB. It enters tapped though, doesn't it? Yeah, it enters tapped. Which I think is probably fine because you're gonna get a lot of value. Again, like gaining a single life in a deck like this is gonna give you a ton of value, so I think that's probably fine. Chat is glitch. I will say from experience, Swallow Hole actually sucks. LOL. I think I got rid of Swallow Hole if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I did in my list. Oh, it's fixed. Mentor the Meek and Mangara the Diplomat. Hey, those are great suggestions. Mentor the Meek, 19 cents. 2 and a white, 2/2. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less enters, you may pay 1 and draw a card. That's fantastic. Keep in mind that when a lot of these that are on my list say 35 cents and like stuff like that, the lowest it can go on Moxfield is 35 cents. A lot of these are like 13 cents, 9 cents. 3 cents that are on my suggestions. So if you go to your local game store, you can get these for way cheaper than it's saying on here. I tried so hard to make Swallow Hole work in my deck, but every single time I tried to use it, I realized it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Yeah. Okay, so with my version of the list right here, we can run a little test game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 land. Again, we're not keeping that. There we go. We can keep that. Play test. Draw a card. Play our land. Pass turn. Play our land. We'll play Marble Diamond. Pass turn. Play our land. Go ahead and pay 4. Oh, we should have played a Dawn Hope on turn 3. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Oh, this is turn 3. We can't play that. We'll play 4 for an Attendant Healer. Whenever we gain life for the first time, we get a 1/1 cat. Then we'll pass around. We didn't get the land, but that is okay. We will play... What's this? Yeah, we'll play both of those. We'll play this little guy that enters with a 1/1 counter. And we'll play Dawn of Hope. Whenever we gain life, we can pay 2 and draw a card. We'll pass around. Whoop. We're going to get the Healer of the Pride out there. Whenever we play a creature, we gain 2 life. And then we've already got like a pretty good like little healing engine going off now. So now we can just go ahead and draw a card. We'll drop this thing. 2, 3. Oh, actually what we'll do... Yeah, we'll pay 5. Play Gwahir. And when Gwahir enters, that will trigger Healer of the Pride to gain us 2 life. And that will also trigger Attended Healer since we gained life to make us a 1/1 cat. And then when that cat enters, that will trigger Healer of the Pride to gain us 2 more life. and now we've gained 4 life, so our Gua here will trigger at the end of our turn to make us a 3/3 bird. So boom, look at that. Little value engine already set up. Boom, you got the value. That's your game plan now. You just set this little engine up. Anyone tries to do anything to your field, you indestructible them, or you play your commander and you use your commander's ability and you indestructible them yourself so that you can swing out to an empty board. I think it's pretty cool. I think it actually works. I think you have your prices set to Card Kingdom, which has a lower limit of 52 cents. Oh, I do. How do I change that? I think someone explained this to me before, and I forgot how to do it. Oh, is it right here? No. How did we do this last time? I'm gonna post this updated deck list into the live stream. Okay, there should be Megeta suggestion list now down below in the description. You might have to reply or refresh your stream. Any more suggestions for this one? Just like some budget options for going wide, putting 1/1 counters on your board, and gaining life. I want to run another test game real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, yeah, we can keep that with cut a deal, especially. Oh no. What's this one? I don't think we can keep that one. Lembas. I'm the kind of guy who can't stand the holidays, so I'll take it, drink it all away. When this artifact enters, scry 1, draw a card. That seems pretty good. Draw 1, scry 1, draw a card, and colorless, sure. Pay 2, crack it, sacrifice this artifact, gain 3. When this artifact's put into the library, the owner shuffles it into their library. This doesn't seem bad. This genuinely doesn't seem, especially in this deck, that actually seems good. I mean, it's $1.46 though. I ain't paying $1.36 for fucking Lembas. You kidding me? Why? Lembas reminded me of that song for a reason. Why? Oh, now it's gonna bug me. I gotta find that song. Hold on a second. I feel like it says Lembas in there or something like that. I don't know why it would, but hold on a second. 8 Crazy Nights intro song. How do I set my prices to TCG player? I know there's a way to do it, I just cannot remember. Oh, he says Luckies. I confused that with Lembas. Ooh, Survival Cache is a really good one. That's the rebound one. That's, dude, tell me I ain't good with cards. Tell me I ain't good with cards. Boom! 2 and a white sorcery. You gain 2 life. Then if you have more life than an opponent and draw a card, rebound. There's another rebound one that gains you life for like the number of creatures in play, right? That just reminded me. I swear. No? No, I can see it in my head. It's, I think I could probably just do, like, Art Emrakul. Because I'm pretty sure the art has Emrakul in it. Is that how you spell Emrakul? No. Yes. I swear the art had Emrakul in it. That's not the card I'm thinking of. Each creature you control with the level counter on it gets +2/+2. What's the Rise from Eldrazi card that gains you life? Set ROE. Gain each. What? Am I losing my mind, guys? Is it a Zendikar card? There's a card where you like gain life equal to the number of creatures and artifacts in play, and I swore it had rebound, but apparently it didn't. Equal number creatures white. I swear. I will know the art the second I see it. War Report. Jeez. I swore this thing had rebound. You gain life equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield plus the number of artifacts on the battlefield. This seems great. Because one thing I realized when I was playtesting this a little bit before stream was there still needs to be a little bit more like big life gain pieces. A couple of cards that can give you like big chunks of life. War Report seems very good for doing that. Knight Errant of Eros. Yes. Ooh, 37 cents. 4 and a white, 4/4 Convoke. When Knight Errant of Eos enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards with mana value X or less, where X the number of creatures that convoke Knight Errant of Eos, and put them into your hand. Sure. In mono white, that seems like actually good for a token deck to get some carded value. 37 cents. That's actually a great one. I like that a lot, actually. Account settings, privacy, affiliates, I think. Let me see. Account settings. Prices and affiliates. There we go. $23, dude. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see what my suggestions were here. So new life gain, 8 cents, 8 cents, 39 cents, 13 cents, 13, 16, 25, 32, 10, 13, 14, 23, 25. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff's not as much as it was looking for the Card Kingdom thing. Battle Screech is an all-star for going wide. Battle Screech. 2 and 2 white sorcery. Create 2 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying. Flashback. Tap 3 untapped white creatures you control. Hell yeah. That's actually great. 4-drop, make 4. Flying. I'll definitely take that. United Battlefront is 20 cents. United Battlefront. 3 and a white sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to 2 non-creature, non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from among them under the battlefield. I'm not sure what we would hit with that, though. Maybe like an enchantment or something. I'm just not sure. Baldin Sentry Herdmaster. Either like Ox guy. 4 and 2 white for a 0/7. During your turn, each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Whenever Baldin attacks up to 100 target creatures, each get +0/+X until end of turn, where X the number of cards in your hand. Yeah, sure. That's an insane buff for a go wide deck. I love that. Oh wait, no creatures, no land. My bad. Forgot it's not the same as Collected Company. Oh yeah, Collected Company is great. Oh, what about the old ninja one? There was an old ninja one that made like 3 ninjas for you. I used to love it. What was it called? I think it made ninja tokens. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they weren't ninjas, but we'll find out. They weren't. I swear they were. What would they have been then? I love Captain of the Watch. Oh! No, timely reinforcements isn't it, but it's close. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think it was from OG Kamigawa. Collective effort. Oh yeah, collective effort would be good. 1 and 2 white escalate, so any mode that you want to choose beyond the first, you have to tap a creature. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, destroy target enchantment, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature target player controls. That'd be good in here. IB Hohen suggested Mentor of the Meek. I think we pulled up Mentor of the Meek a little bit ago. That'd be a good one, though. Oh, wait, no creatures. What card am I thinking of? I think it was from OG Kamigawa, I swear. Man, maybe I'm just thinking, maybe I'm just making shit up. Maybe I'm just making shit up. I really like Captain of the Watch, though. This card's a banger card for some casual commander, dude. Me and my friends actually still run this card. 4 and 2 white, 3/3 vigilance. Also, it's 18 cents. 4 and 2 white, 3/3 vigilance. Other soldiers, creatures you control get +1/+1.5 vigilance. Whenever Captain of the Watch enters the battlefield, create 3 1/1 white soldiers. So it's 6 mana for 9 power. And all 9 of that power has vigilance, and it's on 4 separate bodies, which is pretty sick. I like it, really good. Rumor Gatherer works well, I think. I think I added Rumor Gatherer, if I'm not mistaken, because I very much agree. Rumor Gatherer is very, very good. Oh, I didn't add Rumor Gatherer? Hey, definite add Rumor Gatherer. That's fantastic. A little scry action if you put when a creature ETBs, if a second creature ETBs, a little draw action. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very good. Let me think. What was that? What the hell does that say? Hold on a second. Now hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry. Let me think. Anything else? Charitable levy. You ever let your balls hang out, B-Rye? You ever let them hang, Bry-Roni? Put my Chevy to the levy, but my levy was Bry. Charitable levy, 3 and a, or 1 and a white enchantment. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, put a collection counter on charitable levy. Then if there are 3 or more counters on it, sacrifice it, draw a card, then search your library for your planes and put it into play tapped. Yeah, that's some white shit. I like it. That's some white shit. I like that. That's really good. I like that a lot. I'm the white weenie expert, dude. I should have some more. I mean, I have plenty of suggestions. I made a whole nother list for the guy, but I'm just saying I just should have some more off the top of my dome PC. I'm gonna run another test game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right test. Okay. Turn 1. We play a land. We pass. Turn 2. We play a land. We play Daxos. We pass. Turn 3. We play a land. We play 1. Basilisk Collar. We play 2. Impassioned Orator. We gain a life from Daxos. We pass. My turn. We untap. We play Radiant Fountain. We gain 2. We put our Basilisk Collar onto Daxos. We play our Glyph Elemental. Daxos is a 2/4 since our Devotion to Red. We swing for 2. We gain 2 off lifelink. We pass. 1 tap. Draw a card. We get land. We get 1/1 counter from Glyph Elemental. Boom. We are going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guahir. That'll gain us 2 life from Daxos and an Impassioned Orator. Boop, boop. Swing with Daxos. Gain 2 more. Boop, boop. Since we gained 4 life, we get a bird at the end of our turn from Guahir. And boop. Pass the turn. Boop. We're just sitting pretty. We're sitting pretty at this point because now we can play Griffin Airy. Not only that, we can equip our Basilisk Collar to our 3/3 bird so that we can guaranteed get Guahir triggers every turn now. We swing with a bird. We get a Guahir trigger. We make another bird. That Guahir trigger, or that bird coming into play, triggers our Daxos, triggers our Impassioned Orator. Our Griffin Ori goes off at the end of our turn. We're getting more 2/2 flyers. We're popping off. We're popping off over here, dude. Is there Helpful Hunter / Spirited Companion in here? Oh, no. Those are good, though. That's actually a really good point. Spirited Companion and the... What was the other one? Helpful Hunter? Is that the little cat with a fish in its mouth? Oh, it has a feather in its mouth. Those are both great. They're just small little bodies that will replace themselves. In white, you're looking for like any card draw you can get, and they're bodies. So like in your deck with 1/1 counters and like the go wide theme, like they're going to be doing something. I think Feldar's Retreat is a little bit over the budget. Yeah, it's $1.62. Feldar's very good though. Give your whole board 1/1 counters or make 2/2s on landfall. I was considering putting Bounding Feldar into the list. 4 and a white, 4/7. One of the attacks while saddled, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control, and then you gain 1 life for each of those creatures. So 1/1 counters and life gain on a 6-drop. It seemed pretty good. 6-drop seemed a bit steep, but now that I'm rereading it, I'm like, that is really good. Small little bodies. Small little bodies. Dawnbringer Cleric. What's this little guy do? 1 and a white, 1/3. When he enters, choose 1, gain 2, destroy target enchantment, or exile target card from a graveyard. This is great. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's actually a really good piece of removal or life gain. I like that. Feldar's Retreat doesn't really work without fetch lands. Oh, I disagree. It doesn't work as good. I think it still definitely works. Just getting guaranteed board-wide 1/1s for playing a land for turn. I will still take that, thank you very much. Definitely doesn't work as good, though. Thinking anything else? We thinking anything else for this badass list right here? Okay, we got another little test game. Let's try this out. Turn 1, boom. We ain't got nothing. Oh, we draw a card. We ain't got nothing going on. Turn 2, boom. We're gonna play a land. I didn't mean to do that. We're gonna play a land, and then we'll play our Glyph Elemental, and we'll pass. We'll play our Blighted Step and gain 2, and we'll get a 1/1 counter on this thing. Oh, what are you crying about? Play our Command Sphere, pass. And then this turn, we're gonna play 1, 2, 3, and get our Cat Collector out so we can start making 1/1 cats. Pass our turnaround. Go ahead and drop. Well, we could do a couple things here. So sad. We're gonna play the battle. Make a 2/2 knight. How about Gold Knight Commander? Well, he didn't ask you, he asked me. Gold Knight Commander, 3 and a white for a 2/2. Whenever another creature you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That seems great. Go wide buffs for going wide. Sure. That seems really good. This is cheating with the budget, but Divine Visitation is too good. Oh yeah, you make 4/4 angels instead. Well, it's 98 cents. That might be worth throwing in here for 98 cents, even on the strict budget. Turning all your tokens into 4/4 angels. Assemble the players. Do we have enough cheap creatures to justify assemble the players? I'm not saying that isn't. I don't believe we do. I'm saying that isn't. I'm just not sure. I could easily see that we do have enough. Because assemble the players is creatures that cost 2 or less you can play off the top of your deck. So I'm curious. Organized by mana cost. Mana value. There you go. Oh, I want to do like... Ugh. That's not what I meant. Sort by mana value. There we go. And disable tags. Jeez. Okay, so creatures that cost 2 or less, we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. We run 16 of them. Oh, assemble the players is power 2 or less, not CMC. Ooh. Ooh. For some reason, you cannot group by power. That is very weird. Okay, so power 2 or less. 4, 8, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then we definitely run it. Almost all of our creatures are that. Yeah, assemble the players is a great suggestion. I did not realize. I literally run assemble the players in my white weenie deck in Arena. I just always assumed it was CMC. That's incredible. 30 cents. Not real good. No top deck manipulation, no shuffling, and the best you can do with the symbol is 1 card per turn if you're lucky. Yeah, but we're mono white, my guy. We're mono white. I think we take the 1 per turn. It's essentially the same as playing your little puppy dog that draws you a card, except that you have the potential to do this every other turn following the turn you play it, which seems good to me. All will soon be made clear, Kryptonite, but I can give you this. Our killer is here with us in this very room. Yeah, and they made the killers like the big fucking main center point of the whole card. I wonder who the killers are. I wonder who they are. Redemption Choir is cheap, but I don't know if we can turn it. What does that mean? What does Redemption Choir? But I don't know if we can turn in the Coven. What? 2 and 2 white, 3/3 lifelink, Coven. Whenever Redemption Choir enters the battlefield or attacks, if you control 3 creatures with power, I think we can definitely do the Coven. Return a permanent card from your graveyard with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I don't know if we need it though. I think we can do the Coven. I just don't know if we necessarily need the recursion in here. Although it is good, like if you recur one of those like 3 drops that makes a 2/2 when it enters, then it's like, yeah, sure, it's not bad. I'm the killer and I'm killing the card. Well, I'm the reviver and I'm saying, breathe, damn it! Breathe, you son of a bitch! Breathe! Smuggler's Copter. Mighty Servant. What the hell was that second one? Mighty Servant Leuco? What? Mighty Servant Leuco. Okay. 3 for a 6/6 trample. Ward, discard a card. Whenever Mighty Servant Leuco becomes crewed for the first time each turn, if it was crewed by exactly 2 creatures, it gains whenever this creature deals combat damage, draw 2 cards until end of turn. That could be kind of good for a little card draw. I've never seen this. Sun Titan is also cheap. Sun Titan is one of my favorite cards ever printed. Sun Titan, Bitter Blossom, Teneb, and Honor the Pure, I think are my 4 favorite cards. Sun Titan's incredible. 6-drop or animated 3-drop when it attacks or enters? Hell yeah. Why is it Coven? If we cove in the cold food, out hot each the target permanent. What the hell does that even mean? But also your commander board wipes, so you're probably going to end up with creatures in grave. Yeah, sometimes we will. Hopefully the indestructible stuff will help us a lot of the time. What? Do you want to say hi again? You want to say hi? No? You just want to... Say hi. Don't be sassy this time. Just say hi. Say hi. Oh god. Say hi. Same meow every time she meows. Ugh! Kitty! Why do they call it Coven? When you in the cold food, out hot each the food. Oh, yep, totally. If you like Sun Titan, do you know the card Bishop of Rebirth? It's not good, but it's still a cool card. 3 and 2 white, 3/4 vigilance. When Bishop of Rebirth attacks, you may return target creature card with Marine event. Yeah, not bad. I love me some permanent on Sun Titan and some ETB. Post more kitty in the Discord. If I had a nickel. If I had a nickel for every time I sent that message. Sure, I get fucking restraining orders when I send that message. But you can just send it all willy-nilly. If the roles were reversed, dude. If there's some girl live streaming and you said post more kitty in the Discord, I think this would be a whole different interaction. Terrible, Nick. Terrible. Yes, man. Personal... Is that an actual card? Ooh. Well, that's not what they... Oh, there we go. Personal Securitron. 2 and a white, 2/2. Target opponent gains control of Yes Man, personal Skiritron. When they do, you draw 2 cards. Yeah, sure. Yes Man, personal Sanctitron. Terrible, Nick, terrible. Then she would. Kryptonite the alpha, dude. If I told her to, then she would. I tell you one thing. We'd have some cat in the Discord. Tell you that. My cat's gone. As soon as it comes back in, she might be a little Discord model, dude. Oh, you get little 1/1s too? How? When it leaves the battlefield, its owner creates tapped 1/1 white soldier token for each quest counter on it. Okay. That's kind of weird. I like it though. Didn't even read the second part. LOL. I did not. Honestly, mono white, I read card draw and I was like, run it. Like, genuinely, I was like, run it. Anything else is fucking cream on top of the crop. Nick reads cards from the borders of the cards to the center of the card. I do. I'm like, yes, white. 2 target. 1/1 man. Quest on yes. Creature token on counter 2 man. Shiny triangle. Ooh, this is good, man. And then someone's like, that says target creature gains control of it, you draw 2. I'm like, well, that's even better than I thought. That's even better than I thought it was. And I thought it was some crazy shit. How about this one? How about a Tower of Eons? 4-mana artifact, dump 8 mana into it to gain 10. Easy. Easy. Wait, y'all don't read cards inside out? Hey, some people get so into Magic, they make a channel about it, and they read cards inside out. We all can't be that into the game. It's hard. We all can't be that into stuff, dude. Hold on. Nothing. Another great deck for fasting, by the way. Finish up, keep putting your counter on the jam and then destroy the jam. If that's 5 more hunger counters on it, if you begin your draw step, you may. Not terrible. If you had to put fasting in a deck, it wouldn't be terrible. Throne of the God Pharaoh. Isn't that a 7-drop? Oh, I was thinking of something else. 2 for a legendary artifact at the beginning of your end step. Each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures you control. Throne of the God... Oh, it's a $6 card. Okay, I was going to say. I'm like, there's no way that's a budget card, because that is a disgusting card. I need to put that in Arna. Yuck. Didn't know it was bucks. I'm investing in fasting. Invest in the fast. You must. Do we have anthems like Intangible Virtue and Inspiring Leader? We have Intangible Virtue. Let me see here. Where did the Intangible Virtue go? Oh, it's not organized. I was gonna say, I'm like, what is I think I put it under the go wide thing, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I did. Intangible Virtue was in the deck. It's not in my list for some reason. I think it needs to be. I'm not sure why I would have taken that out. But we've got Intangible Virtue. We've got Make a Stand, which gives them 1/0 until end of turn. We've got... I thought there was some more 1/1 counters on wide stuff. Well, I mean, Cradle of Vitality could eventually give them on everything in Serene Steward, but it's not really a 1/1 on wide. So not really. Colossal Plow, I love. Colossal is one of those words that I will just never spell right, no matter how many times I try. I fucking just nailed beginning, dude. Beginning is one of those words that threw me for a loop every time, and I have no idea why, because it's super easy. Just one of those words where I was just like, ah, and every time it'd be red, and I'm like, ah. And then I'm like, oh, it's beginning. You dumbass. 2 for a 6/3. Whenever Colossal Plow attacks, add 3 white, and you gain 3 life. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana. Cruise 6. Cruise 6 is so much. It's like, shit, I ain't called Tiny Ass Plow. I'd crew for 1 if I was called Tiny Ass Plow, Nick. Oh, Marshall's Anthem is great. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's that kind of Marshall. 2 and 2 white for an enchantment multi-kicker. It's 13 cents. 11 cents actually. Multi-kicker. Creatures you control get +1/+1. When Marshall's Anthem enters, return X target creatures from your battlefield from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of times Marshall's Anthem was kicked. I love Marshall's Anthem. It's such a banger card. You're going wide though. Easy, Crew 6. Marshall's Coup is also super good. That one's not terrible. Create 5. You might want to just go with the white one though, right? White Sun. Twilight. X and 2 white. Sorcery. You gain X life. Create X 1/1 colorless for X. My artifact creature tokens with toxic 1, and this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. And this one's a $1.42 though. Oh, Benelith Marshall was there. What do you think Marshall's Anthem sounds like? What, like the art? I think this girl on the left's like, eh. I think this guy on the bottom right's like, oh fuck yeah. And this dude in the middle's like, oh my god, we did it! Holy shit! I think there's a reason magic cards don't have sound, you know what I mean? I don't think. Well, an anthem is a song, Nick. You don't think I know an anthem's a song? I just didn't realize that's what you meant by the thing you typed. You're not gonna dumb highlight me for too long, you know what I mean? I know some stuff. Marshall's Anthem, more like Marshall's Tantrum. Tantrum. A tantrum is when someone gets upset, Nicholas. Marshall is cheering because Nick will add the squirrel back to the list. Yes, that's exactly why he's cheering. He's saying, put the squirrel back into the list. We need the squirrel. Any more suggestions? Oh my god, it's 10:20. It's 10:20? I'm way over schedule right now. Or whatever, late, past schedule. Over it. I'm done. That's a perfect way of wording it. I'm over it. What about Linden? What is Linden? What is Linden? 3 white, Linden. 3/3 vigilance. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. Linden's real good in here. That's actually perfect in this list. Yeah, that's actually a perfect ad. What about isn't there Resolute Reinforcements? I like these guys. 8 cents. 1 and a white, 1/1 flash. When it enters, create a 1/1. So you just get 2 bodies for 2 flash speed. I think that's fine for go wide, honestly. I run this in my standard deck. I really like this. What do I follow it up with? What do I buff my board with in the standard deck? I'm going to open up my arena. I run a white weenie deck, and I need to see what that card is that I'm thinking of. You could try some devotion to white cards. That'd be pretty good. We run the one Daxus, but what's some other devotion to white? Prevent the next X damage, gain life. Evangel of the Heliod wouldn't be bad. When it enters, create a number of 1/1 soldiers equal to your devotion to white. That actually wouldn't be terrible. Both Heliods are a lot. Ooh, Reverent Hoplite does the same thing. Make a number of 1/1 soldiers equal to your devotion to white. 17 cents for March of the Canonized. X and 2 white enchantment. When it enters, create X 1/1 white vampires with lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your devotion to white or black is 7 or greater, create a 4/3 black demon token with flying. This is great in your deck. You get 1/1 white lifelinkers and then demons. 17 cents? That's a great card in there. Holy shit. Lena, Selfless Champion. 4 and 2 white, 3/3. When she enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each non-token creature you control. That seems good. Sacrifice Lena. Creatures you control with power less than Lena's power gain indestructible. That seems good. March of the Canonized is epic. I love it. It's really, really good, it seems like. Okay, what do I got in here? Oh, this isn't... I forgot I did something stupid with this deck. Oh, this is my... whatever deck. There we go. How much is Raise the Past? Raise the Past could be cool. Although Raise the Past is mana value. It's not power. How much is Dalcoven Encampment? 35 cents. This is a great land. Enters tapped unless you control a swamp or a mountain, so it will enter tapped in your deck. Tap for a plains, pay 2 and a white, tap it. Whenever you attack this turn, create 2 1/1 red warrior creatures that are tapped or attacking that you have to sack at the end of turn. Just a good token generator. Seems pretty good. What's the one that makes you X 1/1s and then gives your creatures indestructible until end of turn? Didn't that drop in price pretty significantly recently? X Oracle Indestructible. Did I spell indestructible wrong? Oh, I did. Okay, well, there's no way. Grand Crescendo. It's a $1.37. What's the other one? There's one more that's similar to this one where it just makes... Oh, something about sands. Right? No? Just sand? I thought there was like an X and 1 white instant that made a bunch of 1/1s. Am I not thinking of that now? Ooh, Odric would be great. That's a super good... Oh, my Geist Honored Monk! Oh, you just like sent me into a blast from the past. I love Geist Honored Monk. That is probably one of my favorite cards ever made. I ran this in standard. Hard. Oh, it's GE. Oh. Okay. I can already tell you what it does. 3 and 2 white. Star, power, and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. When it enters, if you make 2 1/1 spirits, I'm pretty sure. 3 and 2 white, star, vigilance, power, and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. Make 2 1/1 white spirits from ETBs. Boom, Geist Honored Monk. This card's so good. I love Geist Honored Monk. Oh, I forgot this is a card. I'm so excited you recommended this because I'm going to order a ton of these. It's one of the most nostalgic cards for me. I love this card. Odric is insane. Master Tactish. Go ahead and just make it so no one blocks and all your stuff just gets through. Adeline. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of too. She's a $1.49 though. She's really good. There's the new mythic from Avatar that makes 1/1s and puts counters on your team. I played some Innistrad Black Constructed and Geist Honored Monk was around. I loved Geist Honored, dude. Yeah, when I was playing Constructed, I ran Geist Honored Monk, Lingering Souls. What was the other one? The 2 and a white instant that made spirits. I ran Lingering Souls along with that, and then Geist Honored. That was like my whole game plan. Yeah. When it was Dark Ascension, Innistrad Standard, Lingering Souls. What was it? 2 and a white instant, make 2 1/1 white spirits with flying. Two type instant. Midnight Haunting. I don't even have to see it in English. Midnight Haunting. Yep. I ran 4 copies of Midnight Haunting, 4 copies of Lingering Souls, 4 copies of Geist Honored Monk, and then just a bunch of white weenie bullshit. And I actually did win a Friday Night Magic with that deck. Oh, I ran Sorin. That was the other thing I ran. This one. Yeah. I literally would just play Sorin, +1 him, and then neg2 him twice in a row. And I would just be like, now I'm just going straight. That's what it was, dude. It was a white weenie deck where I splashed in 4 isolated temples and a couple swamps so that I could run Sorin. That's what the deck was. And then I could use that Swamps to also flashback Lingering Souls. And then I just went straight White Weenie and used Sorin to buff the board, Lingering Souls to flood it. Oh, that was sick. Loved that deck. Suki Kiyoshi? I love... Oh, yeah, Suki's in my deck right now in Arena. If we check my... I don't even know if you can see my Arena right here. If we check my more modern list here. I have an Aang in here for some reason. I just thought I could run random lands and then throw a random Aang in here for fun, dude. Don't judge me. It's Arena. I was having a good time. Yeah, Suki has been a bomb in this deck, dude. So I couldn't agree more. An Anthem that will just replace creatures for you when they leave? Sure. Gather the Townsfolk. Oh, Gather the Townsfolk! I ran the shit out of this one, too! I'm so excited. Oh my god, you know what else I ran? You know what else I ran? You know what else I fucking ran? That awesome fucking 1-white human, dude. What was his name? 1 white, 1/1 human. Whenever another human enters, he gets a 1/1 counter. Hero of... No, Hero of Bladehold was another card. What card am I thinking of? One of you guys is going to say it. I'm going to be like, holy shit, Champion of the Parish! Yeah! Oh, I loved this. This is my standard deck during this point, dude. You're literally seeing the whole standard deck. 4 Champion of the Parish, 4 Geist Honored Monks, 4 Sorins. Oh my god, this deck was so fun. This deck was so fun. Oh. Oh! And then... Oh, what was the other card I ran? It was like a 3-drop Knight or something. Oh, what was its name? I'll never remember. That was one of the funnest standard decks I've ever had. I cannot believe that just got flooded back into my system. Hell yeah. I ran a combo deck with Mirror Mad Phantasm and Seance. Yikes. Are you the guy that was buying all the Seances? You remember that guy back in the day? He like had like 100 copies of Seance. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile target creature card from a graveyard or your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card except for Spirit. That's such a good card. Exile at the beginning of the next... Seance is great. 26 cents. I actually love that card. I ran a combo deck with Mirror Mad Phantasm. So Mirror Mad Phantasm and Seance. I thought Mirror Mad was this one. Yikes. 3 and 2 blue, 5/1 flying. Pay 1 and a blue. Mirror Mad Phantasm owner shuffles it into their library. If that player does, he or she reveals cards on the top of their library until they reveal a card named Mirror Mad Phantasm. That player puts the card into the battlefield and all other cards revealed this way into the graveyard. Oh god, I don't even understand what you're trying to do there, but that's just... Oh, you just like fill your graveyard with the Mirror Mad and then just start making Seance tokens and stuff you put in there? But like, what are you Seance tokening? Are you talking about Night Exemplar? Oh my god, I'm nervous. I'm gonna like see it and be like, oh. This was a part of another era of White Weenie deck. I also played this era of White Weenie deck where I ran Night Exemplars and I ran... this was Honor the Pure. This was the Honor the Pure phase, because I think Honor the Pure was M10 or M11. Yep, M10, 11, M11. Yep, this was the Honor the Pure phase of the deck. This is where I ran Elite Vanguards. Sorry, you're taking me through every era of my White Weenie builds. I ran White Weenie every single standard when I was younger. I ran 4 Elite Vanguards, 4 Night Exemplars, 4 Honor the Pures, 4 Night of the White Orchids. That was my favorite. That actually wasn't this one. My favorite White Weenie standard I ever played was the White Weenie standard where I ran 4 Night of the White Orchids. 4 of these. I ran 4 White Knights. I ran 4 Elite Vanguards, the one that I was just showing you. I ran... Oh, the Kithkin. The Kithkin that had, I think, Lifelink? Yes, Knight of the Meadow Grain. And then I ran the other Kithkin that you could upgrade. What was the other Kithkin that you could upgrade? I don't know how I'm forgetting that card. It was one of my favorite cards of all time. My brain just goes blank when I'm trying to think of something. Figure of Destiny. This one. That was one of my favorite white weenie standards ever. 4 Figure of Destinies, 4 Knight of the Meadow Grain, 4 Knight of the White Orchid, 4 White Knights. Oh my god, I love that deck. You were just like, everything I have is a 2-drop stat checker. And it is going to be incredibly annoying. But my favorite white weenie card of all time is Brave the Elements. If this ever got reprinted in Standard, I would probably play Standard again. 1 white for an instant, choose a color. White creatures you control gain protection from the chosen color. With that white weenie deck where I could run Brave the Elements, where I was running like Honor the Pures, Brave the Elements, White Knights, Knight Exemplars, like the Zendikar-ish era. Yeah, Zendikar era white weenie deck. So fun. I top 3'd like a lot of Friday Night Magics with this deck, and it was solely because Brave the Elements, because control decks couldn't touch me. Like every time they tried to do spot removal, it was just like, sorry. And then if they board wiped, that kind of fucked me over. But most of the time I could just aggro them so quickly that they normally didn't get the time to do that. But there were some decks like the Squadron Hawk deck and stuff that gave me a ton of trouble because it was so controlling. My favorite ones are those are the ally ones and the longbow archer. Oh, I love 2 white stuff with stat check abilities. They're literally my favorite. 2 white, 2/2 first strike reach. Love these, dude. They're so cool, man. There's one other one that I think was like color white oracle lifelink. Oh, sorry. Core Firewalker just jumped into my head, and I have to look that up because it's one of my favorite cards of all time. This was in my sideboard during the whole Zendikar White Weenie era. Ran 4 of these sideboard. They got sideboarded in versus mono white very often in that era. And yeah, really shut them down. Was this outside my door or outside my window? Well, you can't be coming back in now all the time. Okay, we're gonna tie this one in, boys. It's rounding 10:40 right now. I gotta crash. This old man's up past his bedtime. This is not a double white. Wait, which one wasn't a double white 2-drop? Oh, okay. I was about to agree with you, and then I'm like, wait a second. No, I pulled this up. Yeah, it is. What was that one? Guardian of the Guild Pact. 3 and a white, 2/3 protection from monocolor. That is a sick card, though. I like that art a lot. They just put one of these into Whirlwind. It's 2, it's 1 and a white. It puts a guy into play. Ooh, I gotta see that really quick. Do you know what the name of it is? I'm looking for a reason to play White Weenie in Standard. Like, so if a card comes out that genuinely gets me excited to build a White Weenie deck, I'm all for it. Type Ithkin. Let's go with release date. Oh, I forgot they put this in here. This is literally just Figure of Destinies, Figure of Fable. Oh, hold on a second. If they have one of those little 2-drop white guys in here, this might just have to happen. Nah, they don't. Oh! 2-drop, 2/2, first strike, lifelink, and then it also does a Sun Titan thing. Somebody sent this to me in Discord already, and I forgot about it, and I didn't even realize it was in Standard. Yeah, 4 of these, along with 4 Figures of Fable, dude. Along with 4 Sukis. Oh, my white weenie brain's brewing, dude. My white weenie brain's brewing, dude. Okay, cool. I'm hopping off. I hope anybody that submitted their decks got something out of this live stream. Watch out for the shorts on Wednesday. If you guys want to submit your own decks, consider becoming Patreon or YouTube members for as low as $1. I'm going to bed. Hope you guys have a good night. Hope you guys had fun on the stream. Thanks for helping us reach our biggest stream yet, dude. I think we got like 21 people in here at some point. Awesome. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a good one. Played Brigade in the pre-release, and it's great. Wait, hold on a second. I gotta look her up, too. Oh, yeah. 2 and a white. Whenever this creature enters or transforms into Brigade Heart, create a 1/1 Kithkin. Transforms, add X or green or white, where X the number of other creatures you control. Yikes. She's real good. Okay. I'm hopping off, guys. Have a good night. Wish me good luck for my pre-release tomorrow. I'm going to be in a two-headed giant, and these giants aren't going to go down too easy. All right. I'm going to hit an absolute banger pull. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm coming home with one of those bitter blossom on a creatures. I can feel it.